Cleaner than I ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
Stop it. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm doing something that I used to do last season that I have not got a chance to do yet. So we're going to do an open panel, which means we're going to be dropping the link down for you guys in the chat. I invited some people. I don't know if some people have seen the message I sent them or not or whatever, but we're going to be going over Real Housewives of Potomac tonight and also the Married to Medicine reunion tonight. So let's go ahead and play the intro. I'm going to say what's up to you guys. We're going to get started. All right, let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all. We are back. What's going on in the candy shop?
Hey, how are you?
What is going on?
Nothing much. I'm trying to catch up with these shows. It's a lot.
Okay. So real quick, let's say what's up, everybody's in the chat. Was going to Chi-Town. She says, welcome to SoDebNair's open panel night. Please make sure that you hit that like button and smack that notification bell and share the live as you enter the room. Now kick back and relax and kick up your legs and project your feet. Party on down to the escape beat. Just kick. What's going on, the Vegas girl? What's going on?
Hey, Q? Vegas girl. Hey, Q.
What's going on, lovely 31 Blueprint? What's going on, boo? What's going on, the princess?
Hey, House of Princess.
What's
my sister wife.
Listen, Sassy Peach. So I wore my kimono over the weekend, and let me just tell you, I got so many compliments from my kimono. I just want to thank you for buying that for me. I actually bought a black one too, so I have the one that you bought and then the black one. What's going on, Miss Platinum? What's going on, Ranting? What's going on, Ola Reeds? Who else is here?
And hey, Chi-Town. I didn't get to say hey to Chi-Town.
What's going on, DV? Miss Bernice. I was hoping you was here, Miss Bernice.
Hi, Miss Bernice.
I saw you. Listen, the ladies at my job, like, because I wore the black one. We went out for like a team building thing on Friday. So I wore the black one. I was going to wear the one you bought me for our cancer day because that's pink in it. And I was like, I can't hit them with the pink one, so I hit them with the black one first. They're gonna bring them into this. When I put that black one on Friday, listen, they was like, I don't even want to go anymore. I don't want to go anymore because we're underdressed. What's going on, my big sis Speaks? Thank you for the super chat. Hey, SoDebNair and folks, finally caught another live. What's going on, my big sis Speaks?
So I went to my Halloween party and I didn't like it. I didn't wear my costume.
Why?
Because I just wasn't. Something about it told me not to wear it. And when I got to the party, I was glad I didn't wear it. Mm-hmm. So there were people in costumes, but there were a lot of teenagers. I guess this was a house party / party for my coworker's daughter. So it was nothing but teenagers there. And they were drinking up all the Casamigos. So
the teenagers
Yes. So I dipped. It was weed there. And I was like, if the police come here, I'm not getting arrested. So let me
I would have
go
left.
ahead and dip.
I would have
I
left.
did. I left.
Okay,
So
yeah.
let me show y'all my
Re-
costumes. I never got to wear it. I'm gonna show y'all real quick.
well, I
So
see.
Deb
I see
was
you. I got to see you in it.
it is so Deb said it was giving Little Mermaid, but it's a flapper. It's not the Little Mermaid. So, you are so crazy.
Real quick, thank you so much, Sassy Peach, for the super chat. She said, "I love you, Annie. You should wear them more, boo." Listen, I'm really about to like get into them because I actually put the other colors on my wish list. So if y'all want to, my wish list is still open for that. But I put the other colors on there. I actually have my roommate is making me another one. I wanted to wear them like on a yacht at the beach or something. But when we went to California, I was like, this is the perfect weather to wear it in. I mean, the wind was giving me everything I needed tonight and everything. It was looking great.
Going with
So
the fantabulous.
yeah. Oh, watch this. Look. And
Hey,
no, listen. Nola had on her kimono.
I
oh,
did. We had, but we ended up not wearing it on the same day. I don't think.
Yeah, yeah,
I hate
I
that
don't
I
think the
wasn't
people.
there.
I don't think the people
what
in
you
Cali
saying?
would have been able to handle if we both would have been kimono in the
I
same
think
day.
Listen,
I think us three there would have been a whole vibe.
it
I
would have
hate
been.
that I was
Listen,
not there.
listen. The vibe was amazing, 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 amazing. I had so much fun. I'm so ready
Don't be
for
sassy.
the next trip. Oh, which I need to send you some stuff. Because we were looking at destinations for Jamaica. Because
Okay.
we're doing Jamaica candy shop. If you want to come,
Yeah.
we're doing a. Well, I can't call it a girls trip because Deb is coming,
Come
but
on, I'll be one of the girls. Come on, it's a girls trip.
you know what I'm saying? But me and Barb, we both made babies, so we want to do Jamaica
Yeah.
for hey mother.
You said
So
y'all are both May babies.
yes.
I'm a May baby too.
Come on, girl. Well, you could be part of the celebration, okay? So we have a few destinations we're looking at, either the Secrets Resort, the Sandals Resort, and getting the huts out on the water, or it was one other
Ooh,
resort that she
yes.
sent me.
That's gonna
Yes.
be a
So
vibe.
so whatever we doing is definitely gonna be
Yeah.
all inclusive. I'm about to get on my Zaya because I'm letting y'all know, and don't be looking for pictures from me, y'all, because the clapper's gonna be clapping. I'm not going to Jamaica with nothing covered up. I'm not going to Jamaica with nothing covered up. The clapper's gonna be out. I'm just saying it'll be my first time going to Jamaica.
Mine
The
too.
clappers, the clappers gonna be coming up because I'm at Stella age and I might be getting my groove back or something. I
My big sis speaks said she thought you said we both made babies. LOL.
no, no, we know. Big sis speaks. I can't make no more babies, baby. I can't make no more babies. No more baby.
And
No
that,
more
listen,
babies
and the
is
sex
coming.
No
that I'm
more
having, I
babies.
can't make babies. So, uh, so we good on that. But no, the whole time we were there,
Well,
I kept
we're
saying I
May.
wish that the candy shop was here.
He did. If he
Yeah.
would have said it, if I would have had a collection plate for every time he said it, girl,
Aw.
I would have had a church who building fund actually did something with the building.
Hey, the real lovely C.
But no, it was a like y'all know it had to be a good time because every time we get on here, we talk about it. It was
I
such
know,
a good
right?
time,
Yes, it seems like it was so much fun. I
girl.
It
just
was.
saw Princesses live with y'all in the edibles, and that was funny to me.
Listen, I don't know what happened, but me and Deb was sitting in the back of the car and we started laughing. It was this one thing. To this day, I still can't tell you
I
what it
don't
was
remember
we was
either.
laughing about. It was one little thing, but we was so on it that we was just la- laughing uncontrollably. And then when he turned around and he told Barb, "Where's your husband?" I'm like, what the fuck? He's driving us. He's the one who's driving. But what made it even funnier is that he was sitting behind him
I know.
because he was sitting behind the driver. So it was like, dude, like you don't see him driving, you sitting right. And then it was just like uncontrollable laugh. It was just like you couldn't stop it. It was one of those laughs like, I know I need to stop laughing because my ribs is hurting, but I couldn't. I couldn't.
I thought that we had called an Uber.
Yes. And I'm not gonna jump you, princess.
Why would you trip her?
We're sister wives. I will share Mr. SoDebNair because I share Mr. SoDebNair with everybody else. I share him with no
I'm
love.
just a sister. I'm just a sister. I'm not a wife. Leave the wife of my dad is my brother. My mom calls him son. I'm not a wife. Y'all my sister-in-laws. Wait, we gotta fix this. We gotta fix this because Princess can't be your wife, but my mama, and I'm your sister.
Well, so the thing is, when I see Princess, I'll be like, "Hey, boo," like it's be like, "Hey, boo," not like boo, like this is like my boo. Oh, we got engaged on the trip too. So.
Yeah, I just we gotta. That gotta be a nah. Y'all can't get married because she can't be my mama, but your wife and my brother.
Well, the good thing is that she took the ring back before we left.
The ring didn't mean a thing. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
So you're in good standing at this point because
shout out to Kim Zolciak and her full closure.
Yes.
Oh, that was shady. Damn. This is what happened when you watch them wives back and forth.
Yes, she's the boo and the candy shop is the wife.
Baby, that is giving them special edition.
I got a whole family on YouTube. I got a side baby daddy, a wife, a boo, and a sis. And pros.
Ooh, child.
This
sounds like some Jerry Springer mess.
Yes. He's that man of the hour. So
man
of the hour.
Ricky Beads. Well, no, that was Jerry with the beads. I don't know if this is Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos.
It says a lot like Ricky Lake to me.
Ooh,
it's Jenny Jones to me because I used to like Jenny Jones.
I don't remember what she did after she did Weight Watchers. I know she had a show, but what?
It was like Ricky Lake and Jerry Springer. Jenny had a show, but remember her show. This is the scandal. I need to do a YouTube live on this. So she had a gay man that came on that wanted to say who he had a crush on, and it ended up being another man. That man murdered him.
What?
Yes. Can I say that on YouTube? He
you already said it's too late now.
He unalived the man because Jenny used to. Jenny had Rude Jude, and Rude Jude. Jenny would bring people back if you were bullied in high school. They bring you back to show you that they look better now or whatever, which I thought was hilarious. But anyways, there was she had a crush episode, and the crush was a man. And the man
took his life though.
Yeah, he took his life, and I felt so bad for the gay guy because he was so nice. Like he had been him and his sister or another woman had been friends with the guy. Yeah, it was crazy. And some people remember it.
Well, I want to read off this Sally Jesse Ruff. Yeah, that was another good show, and so was Geraldo. Yeah. Let's go down to
not Geraldo. Geraldo in the building.
Geraldo.
I always called that man Geraldo. I don't know why.
It's Geraldo, right?
I knew it was. Yeah, I knew it was Geraldo, but I was just always. I'm just not gonna Geraldo. He gonna forever be Geraldo to me.
See, Miss Bernice knows about the story on Jenny Jones. Yeah, that was crazy. That story.
It is crazy, but girl, I don't even know who Jenny Jones is.
How do you know?
I
don't know, girl. You gonna make me go Google her.
Yeah,
you close to our age, right?
I'm 38.
Yeah, we're all.
So you should know who that is.
Girl, I didn't watch Jenny. I ain't never.
I watched all the talk shows. Richard Bay.
Jenny Jones was kind of fading out while Ricky Lake was on. You know who Ricky Lake is?
Oh, of course, baby.
Ricky Lake.
I remember when that lady snatched that wig off on Ricky
when
Lake.
They used to ring the doorbell. When they be like, ding dong.
Yeah, I remember Ricky Lake. I remember Geraldo. I remember Sally Jesse. I don't know why. I just don't know who Jenny Jones is.
That's because Jenny Jones, she has Weight Watchers, right?
I think so. I don't know. Jenny was always skinny.
Who owns Weight Watchers?
Jenny Craig.
Jenny.
I was gonna say that's Jenny Craig.
But yes, and shout out
Yeah,
to
I've been drinking, by the way, y'all, and I smoke.
Candace Lane said, "Remember Rolanda?" Yes, I do remember her.
No,
I
check
remember
your DM.
Rolanda.
Check your DM.
Thank you, Rant. Now, girl, I wasn't hitting the Google fast enough. Now, I ain't even opened it, but I bet you it's about to be a picture of Jenny Jones up in
Well,
here.
we all watch Oprah.
Didn't I tell y'all it was gonna be a picture of Jenny Jones?
Yes.
Thank you, Rant, baby. Ranting be coming through for me. Thank you.
I never liked
I had
Montel
no
Williams.
I don't like Montel Williams either.
I didn't like Montel
like
either.
You like black women, so.
But looking at this picture
Really?
of Jenny Jones, I can see why I personally didn't watch her. I back in my day, I would have been very judgmental.
No,
And
I
looking at
was
her
serious
picture, I
about
wouldn't have watched it.
Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones was as good as Ricky Lake. I actually like Jenny Jones better than Ricky Lake show.
Really, girl? Now,
Miss
y'all, I know I can find it somewhere.
Miss Bernice said Jenny Jones started off as a comedian before she became a talk show host.
I like her show. I like Jenny Jones.
Yeah, y'all, I get it. It was just Jenny Craig. I was serious about Jenny Jones owning that.
You was giving this lady a whole business.
But I just thought, I guess for me, Jenny Jones was really fading out at the time that Ricky Lake was coming in.
Well, Ricky Lake.
Oh yes, and Donahue.
I remember.
No, Ricky Lake. They were all out at the same time. But when that man murdered,
but her popularity of her show was fading out.
Jenny Jones faded out because of the murder on her show. Like she had to, they did stories and stuff, like a lot of stuff about that. But she used to have. Remember those kids Maury copied her, but the kids that were that crazy, and then she have a drill sergeant come on and
take them to the boot camp.
Y'all remember when Vanessa Huxtable? I know that ain't that lady name. Her name Tempest. Y'all remember when Vanessa had her her talk show? Now y'all know I didn't know she was married to Ron.
I watched. It seemed like at the time Tempest had her show. I don't know if Tyra was coming out, but I started watching the Tyra show. When Tyra Banks had her show. Yeah, I love Tyra Banks at the time.
I like her on America's Next Top Model, not like a talk show.
I loved her talk show.
Did you?
But and looking at her now, she said a lot of problematic stuff. So.
Who did?
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks is problematic.
You know Dr. Ruth?
Yes,
Dr. You don't know Dr. Ruth, the little old white lady?
See? Thank you, Randy.
I often forget to drop the link.
Yes, drop the link.
And y'all, this is for everybody to come up and talk. So Miss Bernice, ranting. If y'all want to come up, let me pin it.
What are we gonna get into first? Patanka?
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Or the medication, because I got a whole lot for both of them. I got a whole lot of smoke for both of them.
Y'all gonna have to tell me about it because I ain't caught up with these shows at all. I was trying to watch Patanka, but my Xfinity on my phone was acting crazy.
Hello.
Hey, Ranting.
Hi.
Hey, cousin.
Hey, but Candy Shop was right. If it wasn't for the unaliving of that man, Jenny Jones would have lasted longer. Yeah. And then, did y'all know the guy who played Ron, his father was a stockbroker? And made.
Well, you sound like you said he was a cockroach.
No,
he was a stockbroker.
He was a stockbroker, and he was like the first black man, I think, to make $1 million on Wall Street. And when he passed away, if I remember the story correctly, he left the business to the guy who played Ron, his son, but he didn't know the business, and the business just, fell to the wayside.
And Ron married Tempest Bledsoe in real life.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't know that. Ooh,
technically
Lord, I can't
speaking,
my drink somewhere
they
else.
not. Technically speaking, if you want to get to like the legal, if the government recognizes them as married, no, but they live in California, and California is a palimony state.
Well, I thought they said they was married.
They've been
together.
Said
Sally Justice Raphael, right?
Yes. Yeah. They've been together so long. That's the thing. They've been together since 1993.
Hey, Miss Bernice.
Hello.
Hey,
Auntie Bernice.
Hey, they've been together since 93. It's 2022. They going on, what is that? Is it almost 30 years?
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, Bless does look good on you, along with a
Uh-huh.
kimono.
All right, so let's get into Potomac. Um,
Do we
first
have
of
to?
well, that's what we're here for. So put a one, like on a scale from 1 to 10. What do you guys rate this episode? On the panel, what do you guys rate the episode?
A 1.
I was gonna say it was a 7, maybe.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it.
-5.
Can I take my answer back?
Yes.
Nope, you got to stand on it.
No, I want to take my answer back. It's a negative 3,245 million.
It was that bad.
Thank you.
It
Yes.
was a filler. It was a filler episode,
filler.
and it was too much of Ronald Reagan, and I don't want it.
Okay, we
I'm gonna
got a
give it a.
6,
I'm gonna give it a 3.
and a 4, 3. I'm going to agree with you guys. A solid 3. I'm going to agree with the 3. I thought I felt like ranting. It was a filler episode.
I
We didn't
definitely
get-
feel like it
there
was
no
filler, but it
spice.
was 3. I mean, it gave me enough to be able to talk about.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing to write home about. Like, girl, did you see Potanka?
Yeah, it was
No,
it was
exactly.
a 3. It was a 3. Shout out to the MVPs of the episode, which was production and Candace when she said, and I quote, she's invited to find the blackest part of my behind and kiss it, and while she is doing
Oh my
that,
God,
I will
you going to
pass
say
her
something
over.
else?
Oh no, I wasn't gonna cuss on your platform.
I know, but I heard the word was coming out real quick.
Yeah, and I had to,
Thank God for saving my ears, because I don't hear about that. But I heard it coming. I was like, oh my God, do I have a censor button?
But they could have kept Ronald Reagan. They could have kept Giblets. They could have kept Bandwagon Boss. They could have kept.
Girl, now you about to get kicked off the panel. You know you can't
You
say
know
nothing
what?
about
They could have.
you.
They could have kept the mother of the bride. Well, know what? I actually listen. I don't think the conversation that she was having in the car was appropriate with the kids being back there. But I did appreciate, kind of like the insight of what her mother's mindset was.
Now I want to bring this up because I know this is on Watch What Happens Live. That Princess is saying, she said Robin just said, hold on, let me shut this door real quick. Robin just said that Juan doesn't watch the show, so he doesn't know Giselle puts the business out about their house. Now I know that Juan doesn't watch the show, so that is very true. We'll get into Juan a little bit later on to the show. Right time to say Mia is going to get it. Those confessionals. What's going on, Pink Dynamite? I haven't seen it yet. Okay. So the first part that I picked up was the conversation between Wendy and Eddie. And does Eddie not like Peter?
I think Eddie tired of his wife starting all these damn businesses. I don't think it has anything to do with Peter per se.
Well, no, because she was like, our friend Peter. He was like, no, that's your friend.
Yeah.
Well, because that might not be his friend. I don't think.
Okay.
But I think Eddie is just sick of Wendy
I agree with you on that.
starting all of these businesses, and like, how long has Wendy known Peter to say that's my friend? Eddie might be like, that's your friend. I don't know that man like that. That's your friend. That ain't my friend. I'm not around him like that.
Exactly.
And that's what I think it is. I don't think Eddie have a beef with Peter.
I think that's what it is.
I think said on
Eddie is
national
fine,
television,
though.
like
He
that's
ain't
not
Idris Elba,
our
but he
friend. That's
fine.
your friend. Does give off a little bit of spice. Like we might not really be friends for real. And Giselle is alluding that someone else on the cast likes Peter. So I'm like, well, is it Wendy?
Doubt it.
No, listen. Let me tell you, Wendy don't want nobody but Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy don't want nobody but Eddie. I don't believe that.
I hope not. I feel like, even though I didn't watch it, but just from what I've seen, she always jumps into these ventures and these businesses. So I agree with Nola. It's just another one of her ideas. He's probably like, I didn't talk to him, so he's not my friend. So
yeah, it's just like with Wendy, she said it. She says when the opportunities come along, she wants to jump on all of it. And like I said, when I did my own review of this, I said, you're going to keep jumping on all this stuff and lose all your hair. Because the doctor then told that lady, stop getting stressed out. You're losing your hair.
Right, because you're internalizing it.
Yes.
You think she's afraid to be broke?
I'm afraid to be broke.
We all afraid to be broke.
So
I
I
think
mean,
some people.
so for me asking that, my question is what she's doing understandable?
No, I don't think Wendy is afraid to be broke. I think Wendy is one of those people who inherently need something to do. And so they
Mhm.
think keeping
Mhm.
themselves busy, they have to find something to do. So they move from project to project to project. Is
Mhm.
what she doing? Do people do that? Yes. Is it sane? Hell no. You're gonna run
No.
yourself in the ground and you have a husband and kids. You know what I'm saying? Like when are you gonna have time to relax because something is always going to be calling you outside of your home. And so I think she's just start stuff and move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing because it gives the illusion that I'm busy or a boss,
Mhm.
as you like to say.
Well,
And
she is a boss,
she needs to send.
She's not a boss.
I
No.
think she
No.
needs to sit home,
but we're talking
not
about
sit
Wendy. We're talking
home.
about Wendy, not Mia. So
This
I
No,
think,
is
just
but I
Mia.
can
think
I say
Wendy
this?
needs to.
No.
I
I don't.
think Wendy needs to nurture her 3 weeks, or
Yes.
5 weeks, however many weeks she up to
No,
now.
Karen has 5 weeks.
Um,
She has 3.
well, whoever. I think she needs to, come up with more sense and really go ahead and
mhm.
put her time into the business that she has, curate that, grow that, be a mother there with your family and children and have that family time. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
move on to something else if you have the time on a play. But girl, if your hair is falling out and you're bald, then your body is trying to tell you enough. And if she don't shut it down on her own, her body gonna do it for her.
And
Yeah.
in
Now
the
let me real quick respond to just simply. She said last year she did candles, which now she's trying to expand into a home line. She is also writing a book. Now I know the original plan for her was the home line that
Right.
she talked to Eddie about last year on the
mhm.
show. So I think that was already originally a part of the plan. So I just want to add that in so we knew that this was always a thing with the home line.
And the
I
book is
Right, and
already
the
out.
bar is out the bar
Yeah.
library is
Mhm.
the bar library is I'm sorry,
I don't understand the library at the bar together. I don't understand it.
Right.
if I
Listen,
was in Potomac, I would not, or the DC area, me personally, I'm not looking to go to a bar sponsored by Wendy.
well, I'll say this. I don't, going back to her being wanting to not be broke. I don't think anything that she's doing equates to her being broke. I think she's flexing. I think
Mhm.
she got on this show and is trying to compete with all these other women. She has money and she can throw it around. I've lived in that area. Montgomery County, Maryland is where they live. I've lived in that area. The bar library, whatever she's trying to do for these kids, I think it's possibly a good deal, but her trying to make it a bar and then a library is not the best thing. Living in that area, there are a lot of educated kids. So it with my marketing experience, and this is my
Build
liquor
a
talk.
library.
With my marketing experience, she should make it a kids library with it's a lounge and hot chocolate and all that. She needs to keep the alcohol out if she wants the kids.
No one who's
But I
trying to
think
drink
she's
is trying to be around
flexing.
children.
Well, I will
No,
say
but it's
this.
a lot of children in there. I've
There's a
lived.
lot of
It's a
students.
lot of children. It's a lot of
I understand that, but
area.
I'm saying if I'm
When
going,
you look at the let me just say
listen,
this: when you look at the AP program, when you look at the my classmates, they went to Yale, Harvard, all this other stuff. Education and library and successfulness is put into those instilled in those kids. You got Howard down there. You got George Washington University. It's a lot of schools. Plus, it's political. So they know they want to instill that in their kids. So if I were her, I would take the route of it's a library for kids, it's a lounge
do
because they
you
have a lot
know
of
the danger of people drinking with children around?
that she should take the alcohol out. I don't think she should
Yes,
take the
okay.
alcohol.
As long as
It
we're
should
there,
be
then
a
I'm fine with that.
kids library lounge with hot chocolate,
I
things
think
that
I think she
would
should
be
just build a
over on people.
library and a restaurant.
But I
Wait.
really feel like she's trying to flex, and she's a person living in Baltimore, Maryland, well, outside of Baltimore, that is trying to compete with these women on this show. Yes, she has money and yes, she's educated, but everything that she's trying to do with these businesses and the venture shows that she is not business minded. And
Well,
that's my
she
big
not gonna be
I
the
can.
adults not gonna be reading. Now, with her idea, what I can see is, how some parents, single
Hold
parents,
on,
right?
Nola, real quick. I have somebody backstage, and I've never seen them before, so you do have to turn on your camera before you come up because there's some porn stuff going on.
what?
No one can see you but me. But if you want to come up, then turn your camera on real quick so I can see you, and then I'll bring you up. Go ahead, John.
I will say this, you know how some parents like they're single parents and they want to get out but they don't have a babysitter. I think maybe if she marketed as like, hey, we do Uber rides for single parents and we have babysitting next door for your kids and it's a
Mhm.
learning experience. So you come in the lounge one way but you drop your kids next door. It's a completely separate environment. She making market it like that for parents who still want to have some type of life, but you ain't got nobody to keep your kids.
Mhm.
You can go to Dr. Wendy and Peter's bar babysitting. I don't know.
No,
You know,
I
you know,
think
I'm
the way
not
that
saying
she
it's
made it
right,
sound.
but I'm
See, this is my thing with that. I thought she was trying to do a library with Black authors. So with my children and going to an HBCU, I would love the idea of taking my kids to some type of a non-alcoholic lounge, because not every lounge is alcoholic, but a non-alcoholic lounge to learn about Black authors, drink our coffee, talk about Ralph Ellison, all these people. Like to me, it's a vibe. So I feel like she's missing her calling
I
with trying
think
to get alcohol in there.
okay,
She
so
needs to build a library next door to the bar. That's all I'm saying.
but
That makes more sense than having kids at a bar.
so can I give my
And
idea?
then also, are there Uber services or something? Because if the parents are over here drinking, who's driving the kids home?
I said we
So
offering Uber services.
so I want
No
to give
alcohol. Oh,
So I
sorry.
want to give my opinion on what she could do, especially when the candy shop said, there's like it's like very, because I know Howard is down there, so you have a lot of students, and then you have like the kids of politicians and just different people down there. Girl, if you don't do what they used to do in the 2000s and get you a little coffee place where you got the books and the study places and the computers for the kids who can't like not saying that people can't afford it, but could come after school and do their work, or maybe you need a place to hang out because you can't be on campus right now because your roommate then locked you out your room because they're trying to get it in, and they come down there and get some coffee, get some food, do they work, meet up and hang out with some people. Do that. That's a good thing right there. Do that. You'll make some money off that, Miss Wendy. Do that.
Exactly, because Starbucks did it. Why
Yep.
can't we have it?
And this time Black people won't get kicked out of the establishment.
Well, they
Right.
they have a restaurant in Maryland called Bus Boys and Poet where you can actually like drink and read there.
So Wendy can do
I'm
the
not
same
trying to
thing
drink
now.
and read, but
But it's
somebody
for
can read me some poetry.
it's for adults, not children.
No, Wendy could have a place similar to Starbucks for children, basically. She could.
Yeah, but there could be no alcohol served there.
We don't need alcohol everywhere we go.
She wants a bar lounge.
A
She don't
lounge?
know what she wants.
Okay.
She called it a
It's a
restaurant. this
Nigerian
episode.
lounge.
She called it a restaurant this episode.
Child, go ahead and give me my plantains and my Patron and pineapple, and let's keep it moving past Wendy and Eddie.
with Wendy, I don't care what she sells. She can sell Girl Scout cookies. She's not serious about this because she's not willing to invest the time and the effort. She just, I got an idea, I got to do it. She's doing manic depression, and she won't finish anything. Now you're supposed to have the.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, she won't finish anything. She jumps. Oh, I want to do a Nigerian restaurant. Okay, you're Nigerian. I can understand that. You can make money off that. Get together with your other Nigerian. Your mother is a cooker. Get together with your family members and boom, let's do this.
But
Start off doing plates and stuff like that, and then build up to that. She don't want to do that.
I wanted to add on. Did y'all hear her when she was at the doctor's last episode and it was talking about the hair falling out and the high stress? And she says, well, her mother, is like, this is learned behavior where she jumps from thing to thing to thing, never finishes it, because just like her mother, who is always in a high stress situation, her mother is always doing something. So with Wendy, this is learned behavior. She don't know no other way how to do it. And all I'm going to say is you might need to go ahead and get you some therapy to help you work this out, because her mother has always been in high stress situations and she watched her do that and felt like this is how I'm supposed to be. And now look where you're at, losing your hair and you're stressed out, and you might end up in the hospital depending on what the episodes are giving, because I saw that in the trailer they put out that she was going to be on somebody's gurney being wheeled into the hospital.
Who, Wendy?
Yep.
Probably have an anxiety attack.
Well,
Probably.
I mean, she's on her way regardless. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand what she's doing so much more than the other housewives are doing, though.
Well, because no, I'm gonna just
She
say
know
this.
more than raggedy Giselle.
She is, but
Well, Giselle and Robin, I can't,
Child.
or actually, I can compare that to them. Maybe not anybody who's on her cast, but like the Atlanta girl, like look at Candy. Like, why is she not having the issues that Wendy's having? What about like Cynthia?
because
She wasn't having the same issues that she was having. Nene wasn't doing that. Phaedra wasn't doing that. So, like, what's
Candy
making Wendy have these issues?
can't, like we said, Wendy doesn't follow through on these things. She doesn't sit down and take the time to actually, okay, this is my business plan. This is what it's going to be in 3 months. This is what it's going to be in 6 months. This is what it's going to be. You have people like Candy who actually have a team, who actually sits down and tries to work all of this out. And Wendy doesn't. Now, Wendy picks up all these projects, learn behavior, because, like Nola
Mhm.
said, she needs something to do. She just can't sit and just be and just relax. She needs to do something because that is what she learned growing up. You need to
But I
always be
think that
doing
Wendy's
something.
idea of doing the
Girl, the
restaurant
people say
wasn't a
her
bad
mama
idea
was a
because,
scammer.
Ooh,
well, I think it was a good idea because she wasn't like a main owner of the restaurant. So she basically like invested money in something she'll get money back from within 2 years. She has no work to do with that restaurant because Peter owns 80% of it. So for me, I didn't think that was a bad idea.
yeah, but there's no guarantee that you also have to think about, okay, well, if she has nothing to do with the restaurant because she's only going to get 20% of it, then what's the next thing Wendy's going to do? Because she's not going to be able to put her hands on it. She's
Well,
not going to be able to control it.
I think that a lot of us are a lot of people have been reading the book about having 7 sources of income. So I think that Wendy's probably trying to tap into her thing of 7 sources of income. I think with having a business that works for you, that you have to work for, is a good idea.
It's definitely a good idea, but it's not. I'm going to say this: what we're getting right now, it's not
It
thought
easily
out,
is.
and we see where it's going with Wendy, and we don't want her to be stressed out. Wendy's doing a lot.
But
Her
I'm
book,
saying if she gets a business that takes away the stress, I think she should invest in it. I think that's why you didn't see Eddie like really like gear her away from that after they had the conversation about it, because he didn't say, well, whose money is this? Like, he was like, he didn't really give her any feedback or flack back because she was saying it's only 20%. You know, I'm just putting the money down. I don't have to be there every day. So it takes away from her workload, but still brings her in a check. So I think it's a good idea.
I just think she better do her research
mm-hmm,
because, if the
Well,
restaurant
true.
fails, you done lost your
mm-hmm.
money. It's going to be a while before you see a return on that profit. It's smart if the
Right.
restaurant goes, but if the restaurant don't go, child,
Right.
Then you're gonna be
And I
out
don't
three
think that
hundred
people are going to
thousand.
go to a restaurant like themed off of Wendy or Peter. Like, she would
Mm.
really have to get like some friends or something from the show before she becomes like a
now
main person on the
ain't
show.
none of them women on this show gonna support nothing Wendy do. They don't
Except
like her.
Candace
Karen,
will. Candace will. And Karen will
Karen and
too.
Candy,
Yeah, they
Karen,
will.
Karen and Candace will.
I'ma say maybe Candace. I don't think Karen will support her.
I think Karen will.
I think Karen, because she had to check Gilbert and Richard from Fun Day.
But we'll get to that part. Did
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see, did y'all see how when Eddie said, um, not the not the Chris that be cooking for them, why they trying to throw Chris under the bus? I
Yes.
Right.
I I love the fact that they are calling it out, and ain't nobody
Yeah.
seeming to be believing Gizzard neck, or as I like to call her, the neck of karma, because
I'm
all her
calling.
karma coming back into her in her neck.
Her name is Giblets this episode.
Everybody, it don't seem like nobody is believing her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Setting up that line.
And I agree with Lovely 31 Blueprint. Get a food truck. I think that Candace should get, or whoever, what's his name?
Wendy.
Chris should get a
Oh,
food truck. I mean, he's a chef. It's nothing better, especially because she's really good friends with the gays, period. There are so many places that he could go with a food truck where the people will buy the food, one, because they know who he is, but two, if the food is good, they're going to keep coming back. She should use her platform and her friendships with people that she has in that area for him to have a food truck. And I think
mm,
that also, I think that I don't think Wendy should get a food truck because she wants a lounge. I understand the vision of what she's trying to do. Oh, Chris had a food truck before. I didn't know that.
Not a fire truck.
Chris also, when people were calling him broke on last season, and I know this to be fact, because if y'all follow Dr. Wendy,
Real
most
quick,
FO,
Nola, Miss Bernice, we can't see you or hear you. So if you, because it just shows your name, it doesn't show like a avatar. So if you want to come
Oh,
back
okay.
in, do that. Oh no, we can hear
Okay.
you. Why I can hear you now, Miss Bernice?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's fine then. We can hear you, so that's fine.
Okay.
I know
Go
it to
ahead.
be I know it to be fake. If you follow Dr. Wendy on Instagram, you'll see she was at an event this weekend where they were all in African attire and everything. I can pull up my pictures from my best friend. I ain't talking about just no regular friend. We've been friends since we was 4. Rocking in kindergarten when your school used to have a play at the end of the school year and you used to have you up there doing the little dances and stuff. That's
Right.
how far we go back. She was at this same event with Wendy. So like the lady who they say Wendy allegedly stole her guest list, this lady is making a dress for my friend for her vow renewal. Like, so she knows these people. One of her closest friends um was Wendy's sister roommate in college.
Her name start with a V.
You know what I'm saying? But
Vi-
whatever her name is, Miss
Vivian.
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 But
Vivian,
I'm
yeah.
saying that to say, like, she was telling me, like, that's messed up how they dogging Chris because Chris was actually out there catering and doing celebrity events for people. And when celebrities and stuff came to that area in big wigs, politicians, and things like that, Chris was actually catering for those people events along with his cooking classes that he was doing online. He was actually making money. And I think it's sad that Chris has come to the place that he has had to go work somewhere so people can say he physically
Mhm.
works to stop calling this man broke and a bum.
Now
Yeah.
I will be honest and say that I was one of those people, and Chris see me talking about my Facebook page, and Chris gladly gathered me together. I will say that. Um, but also Chris, and I told Chris last season, I was like, last season I was going to try to give Candace more grace or whatever, but last season I couldn't stand her still. This season I like Candace a lot more. I really do. I love the fact that her and Ashley are friends again. I love the fact that she's like going through her own personal, so she doesn't have time to really get into the mess of the group.
I like
And so it gives Candace more time to shine because Ashley's always on her neck. Now she doesn't have time to.
I mean, Ashley gonna try
Yeah,
her
but
next
her and Ash about to
episode.
fall out again.
Yeah, I
that
think
could
that's only
be
for like,
editing. That might not
I
be
think that's only
Ashley.
for that one part though,
But what
because
I'm saying
Candace and
is
Ashley are
that,
still friends right now. They're still
and
friends.
I was gonna say that might be editing because you know how
Yeah,
editing put things together. It could be her going off on Neck of Karma.
it's just
Mm.
funny so you can make sure you watch next week because Candace has
Yeah.
been very clear that they're her and Ashley are still friends today.
I
Well, that's
mean,
good.
that's good, but she turned. It was the comment of, now see, I don't know who said it to Ashley. I don't know if it was actually Ashley's friend, but
Mm.
I felt like that was not the time nor the place. Y'all have already had issues with you bringing stuff to somebody with the group around.
Oh, you talking about the next scene?
Yeah, what we're gonna see next week, but we'll leave that for next
The
week.
next scene, not next week. The next scene. We're asking her new friend.
No, Candace and Ashley next week
Oh,
when
well,
they're at, yeah.
let's hold off. Let's hold off on that. Let's hold off on that.
Mhm.
We're gonna get there. So our next part is Ashley has a new friend every episode. How do you
And
guys
I'm
feel
sick of
about
it. I'm
that?
That's a
sick of it.
publicist.
Mm.
I'm sick of it.
I'm like,
Where's
this is a new girl. Where there was the girl who played with the baby at the baby's whatever baby thing was last week.
the mommy class?
Yeah, like she has a new friend every week. Like, are they trying to introduce these girls to the show?
That's
Like,
her
how do you guys feel about
publicist.
this?
I
That,
don't think it's that they're trying to introduce the show. I think, Juan have Robin have her pickup scenes with Juan when he's there.
the roommate.
Well,
Karen
Juan is the
has
actual cast member.
Ray, and I think with everything that's going on between Michael and Ashley, Michael might have said, "I'm not doing it." So they need to give somebody to have her personal scenes with. I am just not interested.
Mm-mm.
No, y'all, I understand that was her publicist, but I'm saying she has a new friend. Last week was like somebody who played at the playground with her kid. Like
No, the
she just has
person last.
a new friend every week.
No, okay. So last week was her mommy friend that she met at a mommy class. I
The,
get that,
the lady who plays with her son at the playground every week.
but I get that you have. Okay, so think about this. She's not really that close with Wendy, and Wendy's sons are older than her sons. They're
Mm-hmm.
So their kids aren't going to be around each other.
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert and Receipt Book, they kids old. Okay, not
Who
saying
is
them.
Gilbert?
The neck.
Oh, Giselle. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Gilbert,
I'm like, who is Gilbert?
Giblets, and
You
Roscoe's
better off.
kids.
You better off calling her Jeffrey Giraffe. Okay.
I heard if
Listen,
I heard Gizzard, I know because I don't know where DT is at tonight, but DT has so many names. Like I don't know what y'all call her this time.
Giblets and Roscoe's kids are old, so they're not going to be hanging around, Ashley kids either. Karen kids grown. Okay, they grown, got their own lives. They're not going to be hanging around. Monique is
Wendy just had a baby.
Wendy baby too, but
And
they're
how
not
old is
friends.
Ashley's oldest kid?
But they're not friends
They're
like
not
that.
friends like that.
They're not gonna be
Right.
not.
They're not
They
friends.
not. Yeah, they're not friends. The kids not gonna be hanging out with each other. Like if my mom, like I watch my mom do the same thing. Like I'm not friends with that lady like that. My kid's not going over there. So then Monique is not on the show, so her kids can't hang out with Ashley's kids on the show. So
Mm-hmm.
she and Candace don't have no children. So she has to have somebody to
Well,
film with.
she allegedly. I mean, technically, she does have children. They just don't live in the house.
Can't Okay, well, she has her stepchildren, but her stepchildren are not the same age as Ashley's
Right, right,
kids
right, right.
either. So
Right.
she needs someone with the same like kids the same age as her kids to come over there and talk to her about stuff. And I figure a lot of these women in these mommy groups be telling their business while they getting, wine drunk
Very
in the middle
true.
of the day.
Very
So
true.
now she got somebody to film with. I mean, we don't care, but hey,
Really don't.
I still
Yeah.
don't want to see Ashley have a new friend every week. I'm sorry.
well, she don't really like she don't
No,
have
none of the other girls even show their kids this much. So like, why we have to see Ashley's kids every time she's on the screen?
because they pappy don't be around.
Okay.
They ain't
We've
got
seen
nowhere else
people
to
go through
go.
divorce who have children on the show multiple times, and they don't put the kids on the show.
Them kids is always with Ashley. They pappy not around. The nanny could only be there for so long, and she has like she take care of her kids. She gotta let y'all know she does take care of her kids. So
Ashley need to go steal Anila's nanny.
y'all need to leave Miss Gomez alone. She's
So
stressed
Miss
out.
Gomez is a goat.
Leave Miss Gomez
Mm-mm.
alone. Miss Gomez don't want to work for nobody else.
She is the
She,
goat.
Exactly.
she hardly
She
want
could pay.
And
she
She could pay more money. Have to look at Anila and them damn duck lips. Like damn.
to
she
be
hardly
not to be mean, but I don't want to see Ashley's kids on there. They look like her husband. So
Yeah, like I don't feel like I want to see her kids every time. Like
y'all ain't right.
any housewife that we ever watched, like we never see their kids as much.
Y'all ain't right for that. Hold on, I'll be right back.
We've never seen a housewife kid this much who had a newborn baby. We've never
you
seen.
didn't know. Like,
Just say they precious. Okay. Just say they precious. Okay. I was discussing this the other day. I say, everybody children ain't cute. Some people children is ugly, and your kids be ugly. But I'm just the polite thing to say is that outfit's so precious. Ooh, look, that's a nice healthy baby. Ashley children is healthy. She got some healthy children, and we gonna
Mhm. Well, make sure you
child.
guys check out me and Busy's review on the show tomorrow on his channel, where he's definitely gonna call us that the oldest baby it.
Ooh. Well,
That's
you
what he
know what?
calls it, baby it.
They was hurt on both ends of the DNA. Come on now. Let's be honest.
I think the youngest
I
baby
think
is a little
Ashley is
cute.
pretty. I think Ashley is pretty in her own way.
The youngest baby doesn't look bad.
What was
Hmm.
that?
That child looked
I
like
told you I live in the hood.
that. Listen,
Don't worry about it.
listen. Unfortunately, I hate to say
We
this.
not gonna act like I was the only person that heard it. I'm sorry.
I heard
It's
it.
like
I ain't gonna say nothing no more.
it's like the
I
third
forgot.
time you done did it. I
I,
live in the
I, I,
hood.
yeah, but listen, I can't keep ignoring it.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna go on
Shout
mute.
out to me living in the hood.
Hey,
It is
Unfortunately,
what it is.
yeah. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Ashley kids do look like they would grow up to hate crime me. I'm just being honest.
The youngest one does.
That child always screaming his head off every time we see him. He don't want to be fooling with them people.
But maybe he was a little bit different.
Okay, we'll see.
I don't see the youngest one is a really cute baby, and I can't see it without seeing Dean because of Izzy. So I'm giving the youngest one the best shot. Not who I
You are hoping
guess.
those kids take after Ashley and not they pappy.
Well,
exactly.
kids do grow. They grow up. They have to go through some ugly phases sometimes, and it's
Whew.
have to be good looking adults. So we'll see. I hope he doesn't have that hairline for his whole life. Like, I just can't see that.
Now, how'd y'all feel about her reading the statement and production playing all them clips of every time Schmiegel was on that
Wait,
piano?
tell us about it. Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Okay, so Ashley and the publicist got the statement together, and it was like she started to read off the statement that they wanted to put out. So the scene they was like
Oh,
the day they was filming this scene, it was like March 30th, and
Mhm.
April was like right around the corner, and they wanted to put it out before Mother's Day so she could have control of the narrative, and it
Mhm.
wouldn't be a oh Ashley Darby is divorcing her cheating husband. And as soon as she started reading it, and she tried to get choked up, and I couldn't like it wasn't working.
That was so
Produ-
fake.
Production
Well,
was rolling,
she tried to get it choked up last episode, but she couldn't do it.
but production was rolling every. They was rolling clips of every time Schmiegelden lost his mind
Yes,
from him. Like I
that
was in
was good.
I was in Vegas, and me and a girl met, and we decided to go back to the hotel room. Her yelling at him in the parking lot, talking about if you do X, Y, and Z, this marriage is over. I said, shout out to production.
Listen, first of all, Ashley, all of us knew it was coming, and ain't none of us wanted that man. Wanted you to be with that man, girl. We didn't need that 3 paragraphs. We didn't need it. I know I didn't need it. Me along with several people. It was the consensus on Twitter. Okay. And once it's on Twitter as the consensus, that's the consensus. Girl, you could have, Michael and I are splitting. That's it. We didn't need a whole, we are still going to be loving, caring parents. Girl, we don't care.
Because I was like, I thought that man didn't want them kids. If that was like from what I was learning about the show before I started actually reviewing it, I thought he didn't want
We
children.
don't know if he wanted the kids or not. We're not gonna sit here and blame Ashley for not knowing if that man wanted them kids or not.
No,
The
I'm not.
fact is that he had them. Now, what we do know this episode is that he don't want her anymore because he had the vasectomy.
Well, I'm going to say this. I think when he married Ashley, she was his party girl,
Hmm.
right? They were able to party. They were able to go do
He's
things.
never going to stop partying.
And that's that, but that
Hmm.
is where he was in life. He's older.
He's still there.
He's listen, but you know what I'm saying? That's where he was, and that's where
Mhm.
she was at the time. And she grew in a different direction. She wanted them to have a more traditional marriage. She didn't want to be the party girl no more. She didn't want to have other people in their bedroom. She only wanted her coochie cravings to be
Ugh.
satisfied by Schmiegel. Okay, she only wanted Schmiegel on her charcuterie board. Okay,
Ugh.
My
and she wanted to do
precious.
the family. It is as disgusting as it is. I think she wanted to do the family thing, and He didn't want kids. You right, Princess. He didn't want kids. He said that several years ago. And so I think she turned the marriage into something different than what their agreement was. And he like, hell
Well, no,
no.
he should have
I'ma still
known.
do
He
this.
should have known that eventually she would want kids if she was that. If that's most women want kids. Like, if sometimes you do find women who don't want them. But yes, he found out when she was young. But her wanting kids should not have been a shocker to him. She was young when she met him, and hopefully she was at a legal age when she met him. But that's a different story for a different day. But for
Oh, she
me,
was a
it's like
bartender, so
Mm-hmm.
if you bartenders bartend before they're of age. Let's be all the way clear there. They do
And what
that
a
all the
style,
time, as
child.
well as strippers. So let's just
mm.
we don't know how old she was when he met her. The thing is that he should have known that her mind wasn't always ready for making a permanent decision like that. And so when she did want them, he should have been ready for that because he knew that mentally she might not be always developed.
But that's the thing. What I've seen with
I
people,
never
even
I mean for me, I'm sorry real quick. For me, I never wanted to be married, but I got married because I fell in love with somebody I wanted to marry. But that was never like something that I wanted to do. So that always could change. You can't depict that because she's young.
but I see a lot of people go into, you know, whether they're like relationships where it's just like, we know what it is, we're not going to get married, or, they get married going into some of these situations, like, both of us don't want to have kids. And then over time, it changes for one of the, like, it changes for one or it changes for both. And it's not when, one partner in a relationship is older, they could be the same age, and that could be something that changed. And then you have the other person like, hey, we already said we wasn't gonna have no kids. I thought this is something we agreed on, that kids were like out of the picture. And that's where, you have problems like what Ashley and Schmingle have going on that come into play. Like, you feel like they went back on y'all agreement. Like, we were in this together and you went back on something that we had already set in stone that was not going to happen. And that's what he felt. Well, that's my opinion of how he felt. Like, they already had this
I
down
think he
pat.
felt a way that was not realistic for her because I mean when we met her on Potomac, she was a party girl, but we know she was young. Was she like 19?
No.
I think she was older than that. I think she was in her 20s.
She was in her early to mid 20s.
Like 20 what?
She wasn't over 25.
I'm gonna
That's
look
what
it
I'm
up.
saying. What I'm saying is that she was young. So yes, at the time that he met her, she probably was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a party girl. I want to party." But she's getting older now, and like to me, kids would have been a conversation to have. Now maybe she was at that time like, "I don't want no kids, this and this," but I think that she realized that the relationship wasn't working for them, and these kids are my security. Because even Karen said on the first episode, she don't blame Ashley for doing what she's doing for that house, and I don't either.
I don't either.
Mm-mm.
Me either.
Everything you can get before it's over with, because to me it's like he should take care of them kids. Because if he didn't
But
want them, he had an opportunity to not lay down and have them.
Okay, so she met him when she was 18.
That's what I said about 19. I
And
said about 19.
they have a 29-year-old 20-year age difference. And they got married when she was 22. So yeah, her mindset obviously was
So
going to
like I
change.
said about 19.
She wasn't old enough for that decision to be permanent.
Nope.
So that's what I'm saying. Like
exactly.
her decision, what she was saying to him at 18 was not what she's saying to him now. So
What
it
she
makes
said
sense.
to him at 22 was not what, because then they entered in like 18 is like, oh, we met, we kind of dating, whatever. That like subject to change, y'all could break up at any time. But 22 and they get married now, in his head is set in stone that we're not having kids because we're
But they've been
married.
together for 5 years, so I think that first of all, you're dating at 8. You're talking to an 18-year-old who becomes a
That's
22-year-old.
nasty.
She was not 18. What are you saying?
She was
Ain't that what you just
18
said?
when they met.
When they
This
met, she was 18.
What?
That's what I'm
Ashley was
saying. I'm
18 when
I'm
they
going off
met.
what Ramsey is saying.
I
Middle
just looked it
biologically
up.
banner.
I
Look it up.
I just looked it up. She was 18 when they met, 22 when they got married.
So what I'm saying is at 18, if you're walking up to some girl who's a party girl, most times you know, like, oh, I want to have a baby family, things like this. Like, she wants to party. And I think that as time goes on, everybody thinks about their life. Once you get older, it's like, you know what? I do want to have like some stability. I want to have a family. And not everybody, but there's like a great percent of people who want that. So I think when he met her, she probably was saying all these things that he wanted her to say. She's young. He's 20. You say he's 20 years older than her?
29.
29 years older. 30 years older than her.
How long were they married?
He's saying everything that she wants to hear. So yeah, she's going along with it. I think in her mind, she's like, you know, I don't know if I do or I don't. Right now, I'm enjoying my space because that's the free time in your 20s.
So this is what's confusing to me. Ashley Darby is 34. And they got married when she was 22. That would mean that they were married 11, 12 years.
You said he's Michael Darby.
Ashley Darby is 34.
Oh, okay.
I'm just confused.
I thought you said Michael Darby was 34. I'm like, ain't no fucking way.
No, Ashley Darby. But it just seems, I know they got married when she was in her 20s or whatever. And this whole the prenup, all of that, these kids. I mean, it sounds like whatever situation they had, it was open in the beginning.
The article that I had got it wrong. It was 26 when she got married. But they had been together longer than that. Also, by the time they got married, she was a stepmother to his grown kids.
Right.
Exactly. All his kids are older than her.
Ugh.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. That's nasty.
Oh, that's giving me Chester vibes. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's weird all around. So
Schmeagle.
Precious.
My precious.
My precious.
Not my precious, y'all. Come on. I mean, listen, at 18, Ashley probably saw that man. He had some money and she was not.
That's her sugar daddy. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And she didn't want to live under the bridge with her mom.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not mad with it.
Remember, Ashley grew up being bounced from house to house.
That's all I'm saying is that when he met her, she probably wasn't on like a family thing. She was partying. Who in their teens before they get to 21 is even thinking about that unless you are craved on those situations. Most of them are thinking about living our lives.
I just feel like whatever they had in their prenup, like they were open because
remember they went back and redid it.
But she didn't send it through.
It seemed like it allowed her to, in the beginning, she could be whoever the hell she wanted to be, but then she changed after she had them kids.
She didn't.
She should have. I mean, what mother really wants to stay a party girl and you have children at home?
Yeah.
As a father, I wouldn't want to do it.
I agree. I definitely agree, but that's why it seems like to me their situation prior to whatever they did in this revision, it was open.
I wonder if the older kids have met their younger siblings.
That's a good question.
That is very interesting. We don't know.
And excuse me, I just want to do the devil's advocate with Michael and not appearing on camera. And her in her car saying, I haven't heard from him and all this. He had a vasectomy. So if he had a vasectomy, so that means he in the hospital somewhere. Or Michael said, I'm not filming this season. We getting divorced. I'm not gonna be on camera. Y'all not gonna use me like y'all been using me for all these seasons I've been on here. I'm doing the bare minimum. If I gotta be on camera, I'll be on camera on the end. I think we actually gonna stretch this completely out. We ain't gonna see Michael until the end of this damn season.
But she said
if we see him, but she was just on Watch What Happens Live a few weeks ago, and they're still living together.
So yeah, there's that. Plus, she said he was on a flight to Vegas, and
he said he had a vasectomy.
No, she said
he was on a plane to Vegas.
when she was in the car. She was like,
Yeah.
last time she checked, he was on a flight to Vegas. She wasn't sure if he had made it there or not, but the phone was ringing, so it mean it wasn't on airplane mode. He had probably already touched down. And I said, you know what? It would make sense that he leaked the story that they were separating, so nobody would have said nothing to him when he was in Vegas doing whatever he was doing.
Exactly.
I was like, that makes sense to me, anyway. Can we move on from football head?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yes. Let's talk about Alice Lagoon and her dang games that she didn't have organized. Come on. Let's get to Robert. Let's come on.
We talk about Rob.
Yeah.
Robert in the not even before the fun day when she was down there with SoDeb's man coming up with the stupidest idea she could ever come up with, talking about, I'm going to call Candace and I'm going to ask her if she'll talk to Wendy to see if she can play auntie and bring Wendy's kids. Because if it's really about the kids, Wendy will let them come. And for some reason, and maybe SoDeb could tell us if his man was trying to embarrass the roommate, is that why he told that lady that was a good idea?
No.
He wasn't trying to embarrass her?
No. She embarrasses herself, so why would he didn't do it?
I'm gonna say my piece. Roscoe, no mother is gonna send her kids with nobody to an event that they weren't invited to themselves.
She knew that.
And she was trying to do, because Nola said it in my chat earlier. She said she was trying to do damage control, and that's exactly what she was trying to do. But here's the problem: they released clips of you doing the whole. Well, I'll ask Candace to ask Wendy. They released clips right after.
Why would any mother let their kid go to someone's house that don't like them?
Exactly.
You could do anything to the kids. Not saying you would. But that's legit, the thought process. But the clip of her, sitting down with Juan and having that conversation was released over a week ago, and the people was eating her up. And then when
let's also talk about the fact that Juan didn't show up.
He never shows up. Not for her, anyway.
The kids that show up are Juan didn't show up. Did she say he was Juan was babysitting? What happened was me and Juan were not invited, so we didn't go.
She said he had a root canal and his face was puffy.
Me and Juan were not invited, so we didn't go.
So what you're saying is she telling fallacies on your man.
I mean, all of those things. Is that we were not invited, so we did not go. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions?
The way those games is organized, Robert could organize a takeout meal for me. What was that?
It was the kids.
Ghetto. It was ghetto.
Wait, before the fun day unorganized, it was the kids telling Juan, "You a world-class bench player." I said, "No, not
like they said, bench player."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Juan was like,
no, we're not gonna make fun of Juan.
And Juan was like, you was this close. You was this close.
We're not gonna make fun of Juan. This is no Juan's slander zone.
Okay.
Nola, Candy Shop, what's y'all thoughts on the trying to invite Wendy's kids without Wendy?
I think you want to take it first.
I'll take it first. Mine would have been hell no. If you don't like me, you don't like my kids, so they ain't coming. But those are my thoughts. Take it from here.
Oh, you finished? I think Robin is full of shit.
Hello. Hello.
As you as a mother, you know damn good and well. First of all, when you did the invitation and threw it out there, it was shady. And then your response was you ain't care about them kids. Now this week, you knew how that was gonna come
They're right. She
over.
said, "Fuck those children."
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Exactly.
Wendy kids last
Nola
week.
said right. She said, "Fuck those
She said,
children."
"Fuck them kids."
Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
That's what she said. Fuck them kids. She ain't give a damn. So what she should have did this week was stand up on it. You know damn good and well. You don't get to tell me fuck my kids and then turn around and say, but let somebody else bring them. I don't care. We ain't seen Candace over there playing coochie coo,
We
hide
ain't
and go
seen Candace
seek,
with
red
nobody's
light,
kids.
green light. We ain't seen Candace did none of that. And now
She
you
ain't been.
gonna
She never.
now
Candace never been with nobody's kids on this show.
now
For
you wanna
me,
bring
for me,
me.
it don't even matter if she been with the kids or not. No.
No, but I'm saying that first of all,
No, she
you
called
wanna
Robin. She called her.
no man, Candace
She
knew it
called
was
Candace and said, "Can you play
Candace knew it
Auntie for
was
the day?"
bullshit.
Candace said yes, but we ain't never seen not one woman
But
on this
Candace,
show
but
let a kid go with another person on this show. So why would you think that was okay?
but Candace said in the confessional, Wendy gonna tell me hell no,
She
and
said
she
it because she knew she's never watched her kids before. So why today? It doesn't make any sense.
and then it's
It's
like
not it's not even about watching the kids. If you don't fuck with me, my kids don't fuck with you either.
That's what I'm saying. So
Exactly.
if I don't fuck with you and then I'm asking you to bring, and then you want me to bring one of my friends to bring my kids, I already don't fuck with you.
I'm of the
We
firm
don't let each other watch other kids, so it's like a double F no. We're not doing it.
mhm.
And then you see how she tried to gaslight the situation by saying, I thought it was about the kids, trying
Yeah.
to absolve herself of it.
Yes.
Bitch, are you tripping?
I
She
know you
didn't.
lying.
my thing is this. She knows better. She knew better as a mama. She just like her ragged ass friend. And one thing they gonna do when Karen called her out on it and told her it was wrong. One thing her and her carpet munching bestie gonna do is cover for each other in some bullshit. That was complete and utter bullshit. If somebody would have did that to Giselle kids, she would have been up in arms about somebody doing it to Giselle kids and vice versa.
And
And
imagine
Exactly.
Robin
and
calling
one thing for
Giselle.
certain and
Nola,
two
wait,
things
wait, but
for sure.
listen.
If you don't like me, my kids ain't
Nola.
coming.
Imagine Robin calling Giselle and saying, "Hey, I know Wendy doesn't really like you, but can I bring your daughters to this party?" Giselle be like, "Fuck you and Wendy. Like, what are you talking about?"
You know what I'm saying? I ain't feeling it. Cause my child would have went with Kansas. And just like they did this old raggedy three-legged race child, my child could have fell and got a scratch from a stick and I would have swore up and down Robin
It
did
was
it. Your goddamn ass. Just because
Exactly.
she
Same.
don't like me. I'm just saying, when your kids
right,
be around
right.
people you know don't like them, any given thing, your kids could come back with a cough and you gonna sweat that bitch spray bleach on your baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yeah, why my baby got that? No, you don't, girl. And I'm sorry,
Because Robin was there.
I tweeted it just like this. Baby for as raggedy as this event look, Robin, Wendy, and her kids didn't miss nothing. But she wanted to be so raggedy
Mary
to Wendy.
James.
Juan Dixon still wasn't there. Like he ain't never there. That's her karma coming back up on her. You had a family day without your complete family. Oh, but then again, your complete family was there because Juan ain't feeling you like that. He be down there to the Atlanta knocking boots. And when he come back, he still ain't goddamn with you because he over there
Don't
with
you know
Michael
what Wanda
Darby.
said?
That's why Michael wasn't answering that phone because it was Michael time and he was with Juan. You know what I'm saying? Girl, fuck
Me,
Robin.
Michael, and Juan were actually out together at that
That to me showed me Robin Dixon's soul is ugly as I don't care what you say, her soul is ugly as if you can be rude to some children, the same way you feel like, oh,
time.
it is bigger for Wendy. If it was about the kids, Wendy could send the kids. If it was about the kids, then you could have invited
Listen,
Wendy to
come
be there
on.
with her kids. Your
Yep.
soul ugly as fuck. And that's why that marriage license you went down to the courthouse to waste your money on gonna fucking expire and you still ain't gonna have no ring. Well, you got
Speak
us
on it.
glass. You installed. You installed for a few years. That's why Juan Dixon let the people know he make more money than you. That's why Giselle keeps embarrassing you and you want to turn a blind eye to it. The truth of the matter is you mad with Wendy because y'all was trying to be reasonably shady at Giselle construction site last year and Wendy reasonably ate y'all ass up. That's
Mm.
what you mad about. But you wouldn't have never got ate up if you wouldn't have interjected yourself in some bullshit your friend started yet again about somebody else's husband.
Mhm.
But meanwhile, can't
Uh-huh.
nobody talk about Pastor Slinger D. Girl, girl, fuck her. I
Um,
can't
sh-
stand bullshit.
shout out to Mia. Shout out to Mia for
And
saying,
real quick ranting, just to let everybody know, this is a panel discussion. So if you're in the chat and you want to join, you can click the link that's in the chat. It's pinned to the top as well. Come on up and talk to us. You do. If I've never seen you over here, you do have to show your face to me. Everybody on the panel cannot see it, but you do have to show your face to me before you come up on here. But come talk to us. So go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
okay,
And like the video,
yeah.
Yes, yes.
like the video.
Shout out to Mia for saying Robert is real regular. She real regular, and she should have listened to her 13-year-old son and not shown up.
Now let me say this.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about the boss?
Mia, if
Yes.
you want to call something low budget, this was the opportunity to call something low budget. This Monday was low budget.
She said, "I
I don't
couldn't
think that they were
stay
low budget.
home."
It was low budget.
It was
It
low
was
Did you
not
budget.
see
low
a hot
budget.
dog? Did you see a grill? Did you see some barbecue? Did you see a piece of bread, a roll, a potato chip? Hell,
Did you see
she
a
could have got the
cooler?
Are you
grab
talking
bag of chips.
about Robin's event?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay,
said
so
this was the
I
opportunity
thought you were
for
talking about
Mia.
Mia. So yeah, we're good.
I said this was to see you be so busy to
Yeah,
want
yeah.
What's
you
that
be
sound?
so busy to want to put your cape on for
I thought
Mia.
you were talking about the boss.
I was saying that this was like if Candace's video shoot was low budget to her, what the hell was this girl?
Yes.
Because this was very much low budget. It was not
Okay.
giving.
We here. I see. We see each other. Because I'm like, what? I mean, what happened here? Like, where is the food? We know Chris didn't bring napkins 2 seasons ago, but you didn't even bring food.
Wait, why it sound like an echo? Am I the only person here?
Somebody does have
No,
it.
it's the echo.
No, I said that.
Who has it?
What?
Let me see. Let me.
I don't know why, but it's like when you talk,
Can
it's
you stop
making Miss
us?
Bernice. It's making
Well, let me put my microphone on mute.
No. Okay. You talking, Ola?
hello. It's not. Let me tell you what's happening. What I
Not
see on
you.
my screen.
Hold
When
on.
you
I'm
talk,
testing. I'm testing on the mic.
it's lighting up Auntie Bernice. I don't know why.
Okay. Let's do Miss Bernice. You can't unmute your guest because they. Oh, Miss Bernice unmuted herself, so I can't unmute her. Because it sounds fine now.
But that's what I was trying to say. When you talk, you know how when the person is just their picture, it's
I
like
hear.
when
I hear it now. I hear it now.
it's like when she goes unmute.
No, I hear.
It's
Oh, Miss Bernice is
it's
unmuted.
yeah, know what I'm saying? It's like when she go unmute, it's like our voices is picking up on her screen or something and it's echoing. I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing.
No, I was like, I hear it now, but Miss Bernice was muted, and then I saw it vibrating on hers.
It's a stream of the yard.
Exactly.
You might have to log in and log back out, Miss Bernice.
Okay.
Okay.
This fun day was very low budget. It was low budget. It was giving low vibration.
Y'all are all low vibrational people.
The fun day was giving the fun. I'm high vibrational, but that fun day was giving very low vibrational. Okay.
So while Miss Bernice is gone, let's move on to the next part. So did y'all feel like it was weird about the kids being all different ages for this family thing?
First of all, Gilly's children, the twins, didn't even want to show up. It was only Grace.
Yeah.
It was only Grace. And then Mia's oldest son, just like she said, she should have listened to her 13-year-old and had shown up. He said he got his own friends. He didn't need to be there. So then it was just the little kids. Jackie came with her kids and her PP, her parenting partner. Them little kids that belonged to Ashley. Yeah, all the kids were different ages. They weren't all the same.
It was like none of them could really play together.
Yeah.
So I was like, they could have done something different besides the football thing, because we knew Grace wasn't playing football.
They could have played. Here's my thing. I was like, where's the kickball? Y'all could have did a kickball thing.
Oh yeah, kickball would have been fun.
Fun for the entire family. Tug of war is always a good, fun for everyone.
Right.
The sack races was stupid. because
The sack race was okay for what the kids that were there though. Like that was the most appropriate thing.
But like the 3-legged race, the kids wasn't gonna get that because one kid taller than the other kid.
Well, the adults didn't get it because Giselle and her partner took their thing off and ran.
That was Juan's sister.
Oh, who's with Giselle?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
You didn't hear Roscoe say this my sister-in-law to be who showed up with the baby buggy? That's Juan's sister.
I didn't hear that part.
That's your sister-in-law to be who was in the brown with the baby buggy.
Well, I don't get to meet the family. Because of Juan and Robin.
Roscoe.
We're working on that.
Roscoe Lee Coltrane. Okay.
Her name is Roscoe.
So how did you guys feel about Giselle being in somebody else's business when it came down to Jacqueline's divorce?
She always in somebody's business.
I'm like, girl, she's not even on the show. Well, she is technically, but not technically. And like, this is the first thing that you asked her?
What was it? I thought y'all was like not together or something.
Yeah, because the husband came to the park. And she was like, I thought y'all was getting divorced. She was like, this is my PP, my parenting partner. And Giselle was like, oh, okay. I'm like, in public, you asked her that?
I asked my friends that in private. I don't know when they come.
It was just like Giselle has no filters at all to me.
She has no couth.
Yeah.
She's a hood rat. We know this.
Yeah.
Not a hood rat.
Oh, she's a hood rat.
Because I'm like, the girl showed up to this party. She must have been invited by somebody. So she showed up. Right. Okay. I didn't know Robin had invited her, but I'm just saying, I know she showed up for somebody. And so she's here, and like when she comes, then you're like, the husband's here with the baby, and like, oh, are y'all getting divorced? Like, why are you so obsessed with divorce?
Because she wants everyone to be miserable, just like her.
She's unhappy.
When she said to that lady, I was like, I felt bad. Like, oh, Giselle, like you are really reaching right now. What's going on, Nihar?
Hey, Nihar.
Hey, Nihar.
She's really reaching because I'm like nobody asked you about. I didn't know the other girls knew about it because when she asked her, the girl was like, "Oh yeah, we're going through the divorce, but we're still PPs." They're like, "What is that?" We're parenting partners. I think that most parents will want to be that,
right?
When they're breaking up.
Well, she's already reaching with the Chris thing. So, and then she expect Candace to come and apologize to her. Apologize for what? You lied. You lied on her husband.
Candace better never apologize to her.
Candace already said at BravoCon she don't F with that lady. It's the fact that listen,
I would never.
First of all, she was coochie popping and backpedaling on the handstand down to the Carlos. Hey Cheryl, down to Carlo Kang's podcast, saying she didn't say this and she didn't do that, and Candace is emotionally immature and needs to get over it. But then you sit up here on this show and your confessional talk about I think
that Giselle's emotionally unavailable.
She's also emotionally immature too, but
I think she's emotionally unavailable because of what she's been through in life when it comes to relationships. Giselle's not available for emotions at all. Like you could look at her on this show. She's literally like attacked every marriage. Emotionally, Giselle's unavailable.
And then when it comes to this episode, when Candace didn't speak to her, like, oh, she didn't even speak to me. She needs to get over it because next time she needs to tell her husband not to invite me into no rooms. Didn't you just say this man didn't invite you to the room? He asked if you could talk and you said, let's go to first it was my dressing room. Then it was my hotel room.
Ain't that what Chris said too?
What?
That she invited him into the room?
Yes.
Chris said that. So she proved this point.
She lied too much.
I think that it's really wrong for them to paint him this way, especially because it's somebody's husband. For me personally, knowing Chris, I could never see Chris doing what Giselle's saying that Chris would do.
Right.
Or insinuating Chris is so anti you bashing or causing the issue with his marriage. I can never see Chris doing this. And I know Chris personally outside of the show on Facebook. Like we talk all the time. So I could never see Chris like disrespecting her this way.
And here's the thing about the situation: no one is ever going to discount her feelings. That's not what we're doing. And I said this. I said I've had experiences where I felt uncomfortable in the situation as a whole. The people in said situation weren't the ones making me feel uncomfortable, and they didn't do anything to me. I was just uncomfortable in the situation, and I personally wouldn't expect them to apologize to me because they weren't the ones making me feel uncomfortable. I've had situations where people did make me feel uncomfortable, and what
So let me ask you this. So did those people make you feel uncomfortable?
No, I said they didn't make me feel uncomfortable. It was the situation that made me feel uncomfortable.
Okay. Got you.
That's the thing. It was like I've had situations where I felt uncomfortable, but it wasn't because the people were doing that. It was just the situation as a whole. And I've had a situation where I felt uncomfortable and someone did something that made me feel uncomfortable. And because that person was drunk and I never saw them, like I saw them again, but it wasn't I remember what I said and did. It wasn't an apology that I can get. And it took me a while to say, like, okay, well, work through, and it wasn't like, I'm gonna say this, nothing bad happened to me. I was just being felt on and I didn't like it.
Well, that's something bad that happened to you though.
Yeah, it was like nothing like
like don't downplay that part.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to downplay it, but I'm like,
no, I know you're not. You're not.
It wasn't a situation of, I was attacked. It was a situation of I was being felt on and I didn't feel comfortable.
And no one should ever be able to do that.
Yes. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna get an apology. And like years later, is like after it happened, it was like the situation was uncomfortable, but I wasn't sitting in like what that time was until time later, and I was like, I'm not gonna get an apology from this person because they probably don't even remember making me feel uncomfortable by touching me without my permission. But with this situation, it's a situation of the situation as a whole. Giselle made you feel uncomfortable. That's what the situation was, and you've said this time and time again. That part in her story has never changed. The situation made her feel uncomfortable because she was in a room with a married man and nobody else was around. Said married man didn't do anything like touching you or said anything to you, and she's kept that consistent that he didn't say anything and he didn't touch her inappropriately.
She should have kept it to herself, to be honest. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it paints him out to something that people will assume that he is. And for men, I don't care what color that you are, it puts off a bad stigma about you as a man. I want to say a black man, but I would say any man because Giselle's doing to a white man. It paints you as somebody who puts women in bad positions. And to me, it's unacceptable, period. Because
she's making him out to be a predator.
Yeah,
and I
don't like that because there are predators who are out there, and no one's giving them this energy at all. They're letting them go and they live in lives. They're in our families and everything, and nobody gives a damn about it. So for Giselle to say that this man did nothing inappropriate, well then maybe you were just overthinking the situation that had happened because you guys were co-workers and the men asked you to go into a room to talk to you about something because Robin and her had said that he went in and just released about Candace on her. And if she was offended, she could have said that the entire time. I think that Chris would have been like, oh, I don't think that this was supposed to be this, and he would have left. Chris is a very respectable man. I can say that personally because I've talked to Chris. I'm not even Chris's friend. Chris is very respectful to his wife. So for Giselle to be saying this stuff, like I could see why Candace is like, I'm not fucking with this. Like under no circumstances will I give her any like leeway to have a conversation with me. It's wrong. And until you clear it up, like I won't talk to you. I understand Candace when it comes down to this because Chris, when it comes to anybody's inboxes who have talked to Chris, like he is very, very pro his wife. So I don't understand why she thought that this was okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I be doing this at night and talking to y'all. I had to handle something really quickly. I got two things to say.
Mhm.
One, when G hugs Giselle, I was like, G, big mistake.
Yeah,
Big
Mhm.
mistake, because you're gonna be the
yeah,
husband next year.
Mhm.
yeah.
And then she comes after 4. And then 2, Giselle, you talking about basically this woman should, tell her husband to apologize to you, and she's making a big deal out of it. You made a big deal out of it when you brought it to the camera. You set episode 1 of this season. Correct me if I tell any lies. Please stop me, because I don't
Mhm.
want to lie on her. You want to talk about exaggerating the situation. You sat down on Carlos King and say Chris and Candace or making it bigger than what it is, but you sat there with your big bestie and sat up there and said you have had plenty of married men to try you, and
Episode
he
2.
was trying you, and he was trying to see if you was down to be the sneaky link.
Link.
Then you backdoored and try to say, well, he was talking about Candace. You want to make it seem like that man was dragging his wife to you. I don't think that's what he was doing. I think
Well,
he didn't
no,
like how they were
but
putting the
Robin cleared up that conversation, saying that it wasn't that. She said that he was concerned about his wife. So we know that that conversation wasn't that with Giselle, because she said that they got into the car together after that conversation had, and Giselle talked to her about it, and she said that Crystal was concerned about his wife. So we know that it was no sneaky link shit. So go ahead with
right,
your.
but that's what I'm saying. She tried to
No,
make this. She
I'm
tried to
just saying.
say
I'm backing the facts what you're saying. Go
he
ahead.
was saying, oh, blah blah blah. Candace insinuating that this man was going off about his wife
Mm,
to you, when really he was going off on you
right.
about how you were doing his wife. And I think it's unfair to paint him in this light, because essentially you mad because he told you off
Mhm.
about about what was happening with your wife. He was mad about Nikki, but he was also mad about Giselle actively pushing the goalpost back with those other ladies for Candace. And he was
Hmm.
mad about the statement when Giselle sat up there with that neck of karma, with that them rings of Saturn sitting up there in her head looking lost and saying, if Mia would have hit you, it would have been nothing to say, when they were supposed to be friends.
Mm,
You come to this man house, you sit up there, you do all of this. You ran to Chris. Chris didn't run to you. At that spring fling, you ran to that man to give him a
true.
hug. So to
Mhm.
sit up here and do what you doing, if
True.
he made you feel so uncomfortable that you had to bring this to this season, if Candace was supposed to be your friend, which we know Candace ain't your friend, but the
Mhm.
right thing to do, if her husband made you feel that uncomfortable, yeah, you sat in the
Wait,
car
his
and you
wife is
talked
not
to
his friend?
Robin about it, but you should have talked to his wife
No,
that
no,
night.
wait, his
Don't
wife
wait
is not
months
his
later.
friend?
Hmm.
His wife is not his friend?
No.
No, I'm saying
You said
Gilbert.
Candace is not his
Candace.
friend.
Well, I meant her friend, Giselle friend. You've
Okay,
been
yeah.
telling Candace Giselle wasn't.
I'm making sure you said the right thing, because you said Candace is not his friend.
I mean, Candace is not her friend. We know Candace is not her
Okay.
friend. But I'm saying, if you was going under the guise that, oh, I didn't have a problem with Candace and Chris. I love Chris. I love Candace. Now that what you trying to say, that fake shit you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then why you wait till now to talk to her? If your
Right.
husband if Candy Shop have a husband, if we all together and he makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm not waiting till we get up
Mm-mm.
here and say, girl, your husband made me feel uncomfortable. I'm not doing it. I'm
Right.
I'm going to her right then and there.
Yep.
Right then and there. She knew exactly what she was doing with her evil ex. You know what I'm saying? But that's why her neck is constipated. That's why her face looks constipated every reunion. Because you sit up here, you do all of this sneaky, underhanded, nasty, vile shit. And then when people get in your ass about it, you know what I'm saying? You
She
want to
plays
have an
dumb.
attitude and you sit up there like this at the reunion. Maybe if you stop doing what you're doing, you won't have to be looking like this every reunion. But it's the audacity for me. Giselle really thinks that she's that girl, and you're
She
not that
does.
girl. The girls
Mm-mm.
eat you up in fashion, the girls eat you up in body, and the girls eat you up in the reads. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
You
don't
want to
think
be
it.
mad
Wait,
because
wait, wait,
you
wait, wait,
want to
wait,
be
wait,
mad because
wait,
Candace
wait.
didn't speak to you, but
Hold
you
on,
left
Nola,
for what you
Nola,
did, but you
Nola,
had the
Nola,
audacity to do
Nola,
the same thing to Wendy.
Nola,
Giselle.
Nola.
They're eating her up. What? They're eating her up. You
Do the
can't say
girls?
they're eating her up in fashions.
What girls eat her up in body?
Candace, Ashley,
They're
me,
younger though, but the
what
girls
do
of
you
her
mean?
age, the girls at her age, they don't eat her up in body fat.
Robin even got better built than her to me.
Robin
Yeah.
has a man build.
No, she don't.
No, she
Yes,
don't.
she
No,
does.
she
She
don't.
has a
No,
masculine man
she
build.
has she has broad shoulders, but she not built like a dude.
Giselle
Listen.
has a woman body figure, like she has the Coca-Cola body shape.
No, she don't.
Rob,
Giselle got an
yes, she does.
80-year-old
Yes, she
neck
does.
and
If you know, she does
72-year-old
her body.
hands.
I'm
Robin
gonna
has
Google
a
it.
more masculine man build body, but I mean, she's
Karen
still
eats. Karen eats up
now.
Giselle
Now Karen does eat Giselle like
in
effortlessly.
everything.
Yes, she does. I can
So
agree with
Nola
that.
was right. The girls are eating her up in every
No,
single way.
the girl. There's a girl that does eat her up.
And they also eat her up when it comes to having a house because she live in
I
a
think when it
rundown
comes to
shack.
fashion, yes, but body wise, I think that Giselle has it.
Fashion, hair, that rundown
No
shack
body,
she
but
live
body
in.
wise, Giselle doesn't have it though. Outside of Karen, Giselle has the body.
I don't think we can even say, "Oh, we're gonna
And I'm
compare."
not saying she's bad built, but what I'm saying is,
I'm not saying. I'm
No,
not saying
I'm not
that.
saying she's bad built, but what I'm saying is,
I'm just
listen.
bringing a different perspective, and that's all I'm
No.
doing.
She has no. I get it. I get it. You know, that's
mm-mm.
what make everything interesting. She has a
Right.
nice shape. I'm not saying she don't have a nice shape, and I ain't backpedaling. I'm standing on everything I'm saying. But for the attitude that she have of,
It
oh,
stinks.
I'm that girl. Your husband definitely wanted to try me, girl. Is plenty of other women. If
Lies.
Chris wanted to try on this cast with you, I think he would try before you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean when I say they are eating her up. I'm not saying I don't think Giselle is an ugly woman. I think she relies too much on them green eyes when they're so, I don't care how pretty you are on the outside. When your inside is ugly, your outside is just as ugly to me.
Well, we all know that.
And I don't like that whole.
I don't either.
Well, we all
She,
are in
she,
agreement on the fact that Giselle is a bad person. So let's go to the next part of this. Karen and then what's the girl name? Um,
Sharice, mother of the bride.
Therese, yes.
why I don't want them to keep forcing I don't want them to keep forcing repossessed champagne room on us. I
We don't
don't.
want to see it. First of all, she showed up to the fun day in ripped up
But
bootcut
wait,
jeans.
wait, before we get to this, is Karen wrong or is Sharice wrong?
Why would Karen be wrong? If I
I
don't
don't
want
think I need to know more about what's going on before I can say about a right or
Karen does not
wrong.
like Sharice because of her comments about the men that she was dating outside of her marriage.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you tried to put me on blast and I had a sneaky link, why would I want to be around you, have a conversation with you? If that's the case, no, no, Karen is not wrong,
to,
and Sharice should understand why she don't want to fool with her.
like I don't need to be around you. On top
Now
of
her
that,
face is 65 years old.
I mean, if that's what it's given, then maybe that's what it's given. Sharice, I don't know. Listen, I called you mother of the bride and you built like a capital R. Why did you show up to that fun day event in some ripped up bootcut jeans, a white shirt, and a jean jacket with no
Now
tennis shoes on?
ranting, stop. You know why she showed up that way.
Like,
She
didn't know.
is she is at middle class now.
Nobody listen, it's a family
She
fun
doesn't
day.
have the money to dress the way the other girls dress. She
No,
doesn't.
it was a family fun day. People
She
was
could
in
have went to
active
Walmart and got an
wear.
exercise set like
Let
Giselle
me tell
did.
you something. There are people who come to events. I'm gonna just say what I'm gonna say. This, just hear what I'm saying. There are people who come to events and they can't afford to do it. So you have to let them do
Do
the
them.
best they can do.
So you mean to tell me she couldn't go down to the local Wally World and get her a little two-piece set?
Well,
Again,
I'm gonna drop off here. I'm sleepy. I gotta get up early. I
We
didn't
get
answer
the emergency medicine yet.
Listen, you first of all, she done gave us an hour and 40.
Yeah.
She 40
No,
minutes
no, no,
past
no,
her
no,
time.
no, no. Wait. Cause she
And
be
the
all
kids
over
is in
the
the
place
background.
sometimes.
And the kids is in the
We have
background
not had the
telling her to
emergency
hurry up.
medicine yet. Though. I need a little part of emergency medicine first.
Huh?
He want to
I
get
need
to
a
married
little
to
piece of
medicine
emergency medicine before you leave.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn my camera off.
until we get to married to
Do
medicine.
you do your hookah and then come back.
For anybody who feels like Karen, like that cough was fake,
And
I was
listen,
like,
hold on real quick, Ranting. And also, anybody who wants to come up, here's the link. Come on up.
mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Anybody feel like the cough that Karen gave was fake? I'm like, you have to listen to it. It sounded, I'm just like, it sounded disgusting. It sounded
Yes.
like she was trying to, like, it was trying to
Come
come
on,
about her
Ranting.
chest. Like that.
Yes.
I know it. Listen, it wasn't a, it wasn't a, it wasn't
It
one
was
of these.
like she was
It
checking
wasn't
out.
even, it wasn't even one of those. It's like when you know it's deep in your chest.
No, it was a cough. Like I need her to leave because I don't want to be around this
First of all,
sickness.
she came with a mask on. That should have told y'all exactly what type of time it
Yes.
was going to be. And then she was trying to do the what is it, the sack race, and it was like, I feel like Karen, because you didn't have this
She was like,
100.
"Well, who's team am I on? Let me get on the team real quick." I'm like, "Girl, why are you rushing to get on the team? What's
Maybe because,
happening here?"
but it
So
was
then
like,
she gets on the team, she plays, and then she's like, I'm like, "Girl, get out the park, please, get out the park."
I was
yeah,
in my mind saying, do she have COVID?
I'm like,
Is
"Is
the
she
she
nice
said,
man
dying?"
well,
visiting?
she said she had a respiratory infection, so she might have had COVID, and
That's
it
what
was
she
like the
said.
lingering effects, or she may have actually
She could
like,
have had bronchitis.
yeah, she could
She
have had
could
a
have.
lot of
There's
stuff,
a lot that she could have
but
had.
I was like, that cough is deep in her chest. And when your cough is deep in your chest, I need you to stay 50,000 feet away from me. Don't come until you got a doctor's note that said you okay. Get away from me. And she said, I need my Z pack. I'm going to need somebody to walk me
Nihar,
to the car.
no. Really quick, Nihar, no. I've been drinking. I've been drinking. I've been
I'm drinking
drinking.
tomorrow.
Hopefully, you guys in the chat have made your drinks. Hopefully, you guys on the panel have made your drinks. Because we always have drinks on this channel. So I don't know.
I'm drinking tomorrow. I'm eating pizza. I'm drinking. I'm watching
We're talking
Hallmark
about today,
movies.
not tomorrow.
I'm drinking water.
Oh
Uh,
wait, Young Rich is here. Young Rich said, "Now y'all know Karen did that on purpose to get away from Shasha Monster." And listen, let me say this with what Young Rich is saying. I believe that. I feel like if I don't fuck with you for real, and I gotta be involved with you because of work, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get off of this shit.
I also, because I pointed this out, and I was like, I don't know if anybody paid attention to it when they was at the spring event. Did y'all notice that they had the same Fendi print on? Just Sharice had it on in pink,
Yeah,
and
they pointed it out.
and
They was
Karen.
looking like team boy, team girl
They
at a
pointed it
gender
out. They
reveal.
pointed it out.
Yes, they look like it was like teen boy, teen girl at a gender reveal or a baby shower. It was like, oh, I don't like
Karen was
this,
like, but I still look the best.
and she did.
And those are the facts.
Listen, Karen left, and Reginald said she was doing it to get away from you. I was like, child, whether she was doing it to get away from her or it acted up, it don't matter. She's sick. You don't want her around y'all, because if she get any of y'all sick, you, Richard Nixon, are gonna be upset with her and gonna get online and do what you did this following weekend when the taglines came out and said something about her candles, and she had to tell you that desperation looked funky on you. I would quit while I was ahead. I would quit while I was ahead, Ronald Reagan. I would stop that.
I just feel like this. And maybe I'm the only one. I feel like when it came down to it, Giselle couldn't really handle Karen with the words for words, i.e., the broken whore from Hampton. You know what I'm saying? The hot box. She didn't really have the comeback. So I'm gonna pretend to make up with you, and then we gonna
Mm-hmm.
vibe for Sharice to come on here so she can get at you. Like that's what it's giving me. But I feel like Robin, why are you so invested? Like I need to know the back scenes. What happened from last season to this
Oh,
season for Robin to be going after Karen the way she is, because all of a sudden now Sharice is
Robin's not
the
going against
original.
Karen.
Yes, she is.
Listen,
I think she's going against Wendy.
No.
but so if that was the case, then why are you shading Karen about this grand dame? The grand dame name. Why are you
Well,
starting all
I
of this?
think
Oh, she's running to
but
get away from
so
you.
she so
Oh,
she
she's
said
running to get it. Like her and
so.
Giselle have
Listen,
been
she
doing
said at the
this.
beginning of the season that because Sharice introduced him, that Sharice should be the grand dame.
That's not how that works.
That doesn't deem Sharice the grand dame because she introduced people. The grand dame is the woman who gets the shit together, and that's who Karen is. So if she's wondering why, it's because she's delusional, like Sharice is. Sharice and Rob have the same brain a lot.
Sharice is she's the Deshaun Snow of this
Oh, not
franchise.
Deshaun Snow. Oh, somebody.
She's more like the Harriet Tubman. Like she got the girls together.
Don't do that. Don't do
That's
that.
what she's like.
Don't-
Harriet Tubman, like let me bring the girls together,
Nope.
and now they have a show together.
Nope.
I couldn't see her being Deshaun Snow is my girl. I love Deshaun Snow, and I'm team bring Deshaun Snow back to the damn Atlanta franchise. I'm always at that place because I want to see more from Deshaun Snow.
No on the Harriet Tubman. Now somebody pointed out when I was reading the comments after Karen came at had to tell Richard that she was funky, that Ronald might be still upset that Karen sat at the table and said she was the ditziest bitch.
The ditziest bitch, yes.
At the table. So she might still be upset about that.
But she is the ditziest bitch at the table.
But it's just like, the truth hurts, okay? And Lizzo made a song about it. The truth hurts.
And you know who else is dizzy? Is Sharice. Sharice is very dizzy. She thinks she comes back on the show and she owns something. They're like, girl, you are so dizzy. Like, can you just slow down for a minute so that you know that you're here?
Did y'all see that little dance she did when she walked up? I was like, don't do that again. But no.
So since we're talking about Sharice, let's talk about Sharice and Karen's interaction during the family day.
What interaction?
Well, let's talk about it. How did you feel about it? Why didn't Karen want to talk to her?
Why would I talk to you? We're not friends. Listen, if I don't like somebody and we're not cool, and even if I'm in an environment where I have to be around you, like it's a cast, like the cast got a shoot today, I still pay you dust. Mm-hmm. Y'all gonna get one, like it's gonna be one formal overall hello to everybody, and the people I actually want to speak to, I will go speak to. But if I don't like you, I don't fool with you, we not cool, we not cordial, we not nothing else, I pay you hoes dust. I don't know you. And listen here, giblets. Didn't nobody tell you to go back and tell Sharice nothing that Karen had to say? If Karen says she don't know that lady, she don't know that lady. And Karen, I hope you saged the house after that demon left up out of there. And I hope the demon took her shoes too.
I'm here with you on that. So what do you feel about Candace ignoring Giselle?
I loved it. You see how upset Gilbert was in the confessional? Like, how's she not gonna say hello to me? I was like, who are you to say hello to?
But let's compare Giselle ignoring Wendy versus Candace ignoring Giselle. Who did it best?
Candace,
of course.
I'm gonna say Giselle.
No.
Giselle was like,
no.
Candace nothing.
I would say for Giselle. I would say that I'm gonna go hands down with Giselle.
No, because a person who wasn't like
Candace,
a person.
on the other hand, listen, Candace was like, "Hey y'all, yes, you are present, and this is now a present person. Oh, how you know?" Like she ignored the fuck out of Giselle,
and that's how you.
I love every moment of it,
and that's how you're supposed to do it. And that there is how you're supposed to do it. If you really don't fool with a person and you don't want to deal with them, you don't sit like you don't be like, don't touch me, don't come near me. You pay them dust. You act like you don't know them. Like for real. I'll be like, I don't know these people. Like, who is this person talking to me? Like, y'all, like, who is this? You pay these people dust. And Candace did exactly what she was supposed to do. She paid that old, wrinkly necked, chicken skin having heifer dust in it. Listen, it burnt her biscuits. It burnt her biscuits. She was so upset in that confessional with that terrible wig on.
Listen, I was happy about it,
What
and
happened to
I
Miss
was glad
Bernice?
she did.
I don't
She
know.
never came back up after
Yeah.
of the mic. I was happy about it. I was glad she did it, and I was glad she did it the way she did it, and completely walked over her and spoke to the child. Because then we would have had to hear once again about how, oh, um, you did this to my daughter, and she deserves an apology. And I'm really, I hate this. I don't hate to say it. And shouldn't nobody else apologize about nothing else that happened to them kids, cause fuck them kids. If it can be fuck Wendy kids, it can be their kids too, straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the second time. I don't like that her and Robin feel like they can, their kids you can't do nothing to, but they can be rude to other people's kids. This episode was the second time since Wendy's been on this season
I'm
that it's
with
been
you.
fuck them kids. Cause last season, even when if you didn't want to give the
Even her
apology
husband.
to Wendy,
Did you hear her
if you
husband say that?
who
Yeah. Eddie was like,
Wendy's
so it's
husband,
fuck
he
them
said,
kids.
"Fuck those kids."
No,
right.
yeah, Eddie was like, so
And
it's
he
fuck them
said, he
kids.
was like, "Oh, fuck those kids."
Right. You know what
And
I'm saying?
I
and
But
was
when
my
like,
thing
"Come
is,
on, Eddie, no, fuck those
But my
kids."
thing is
But for real,
that seems to be a pact between Robin and Giselle. Like if y'all
yeah.
don't like Wendy, cool, but y'all definitely feel like them kids because even at the reunion last year when Eddie was speaking, if you didn't want to give the apology to Wendy, you made this big old deal. Wendy was looking your daughter up and down. Wendy apologized, like I didn't mean that towards the kid. But when Eddie came out, then he was like, it wasn't even about me, it was about my kids. And Andy said, do you feel like you owe their kids an apology? She said, no, it was fuck them kids. Like, that's not right.
Fuck them kids.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like fuck them kids, but I'm glad Candace didn't do it because people would have made a big deal about her doing it, but they're allowed to be rude and nasty to somebody
She
else's
played
kid.
it right. She played it
hmm
right.
You know what I'm
no,
saying? She played it right.
when Eddie said fuck them kids, he wasn't talking about they kids. It was the situation. He was like, oh, so it's fuck them kids. And Wendy said, yes. But her little
Yep.
baby is the her
Tell her
little baby
ranting.
huh?
That's facts, ranting. That's facts. That's facts.
Her little baby is adorable because she said, ain't nobody
Yeah.
gonna play with my kids. And her little daughter came over there and talked about play with me. Play with me. Child the
And
kid.
see here, I am thinking, no, don't leave us. Okay, she
Child,
left
the
us.
hookah, the drink, the kids, telling her to come on.
All right, so let's move on to Ashley can't find her man.
Huh?
Ashley can't find her man.
I
Michael
told you
is
where he was
missing.
already.
He was in Vegas, but that wasn't even there was like the vasectomy situation. And then we find out that Jackie was in the same type of situation when Ashley was a party girl with her parenting partner, and they can't even put they don't know what label Ashley or Jackie.
You don't
They
know
don't
where
know.
you're rich.
Yeah, Ashley and Jackie don't know what label to put on their sexuality
Yeah.
because they kept it was like,
I
are
agree
you
with I agree with you on that.
what
Jackie does not
what?
know how to identify her sexuality.
Well,
She
and
said she's still trying to figure it out.
Ashley too, because
Yes.
Ashley was like, I'm still trying, because she was like, I don't know, and
I don't think that Ashley is missing out on what it is. I think that she's just trying stuff right now. So she's going on a journey. I
right.
think that Jackie knows what she wants.
And it's like they don't know, and I was like, well, maybe they can connect. And the reason why Jackie, because I
Well,
remember,
wait. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Ashley cannot find Michael. How do you guys feel about that?
I
child, he
don't
was in
care.
Vegas. I don't care. He in
I
Vegas.
feel like Ashley
Was
have
he there
barely
with
ever been
one?
able to find Michael.
Was he there with one?
I don't know. You tell us.
Without the cameras?
You tell us.
Was it your weekend?
I'm just
hmm
Or was
asking what do y'all think? What do y'all think? I'm not
I
yeah,
think I don't think he
y'all know
was
what I know.
I think he
I
was.
I think he was with whoever he was with and he
Yeah.
didn't want to be bothered. And um honestly, I think he put out that article. He
Mm-hmm.
knew it was gonna come out, and so he escaped to Vegas, and he
Mhm.
gonna act like he don't know what the hell is going on. But that's his way not to answer Ashley or deal with it. And he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna throw it off and say, "Somebody in your circle who you've been talking to have put this out, and it's going to ruin my business and with my business partners. And you know what we had the agreement on, Ashley." That's what I think.
Wait,
Um,
so Young Rich Skinny said, "Do y'all think other men was involved with these three ways with Ashley, Jackie? Who's Jackie?
that's
And
Mia's friend that she into it right now. That was the one who like similar
why is
situation as
Jackie
Ashley.
involved with Ashley?
No, okay, so here's the thing. Ashley, when they were sitting down there and talking at the fun day on the bleachers, and they were
Mhm,
talking about how, because Mia asked, Ashley, well, did he do something to you? Talking about like
mhm,
the whole separating to divorce situation. And she
mhm,
said, no, he wanted threesomes and that's not what I wanted anymore. And she
mhm,
said, well, how recently did he ask for one? She said December of like their time on the show. That's how
mhm,
recent he asked for a threesome. And then Jackie chimed in and said, well, mine used to ask me for threesomes all the time, talking about it would spice up the relationship. And that was a point of contention for them. So I said
mhm.
they're on the like the same wavelength. Like their men wanted threesomes, and maybe at a point in time they were not down for threesomes anymore. And on top of that, both of them are trying to figure out what label to put on their sexuality. So that's how Jackie factors into this,
Okay,
or
so
Jacqueline, but I'm calling her Jackie because it takes
her
too
name
long to.
is Jacqueline. It's Jacqueline. Do y'all think other men were involved with the three ways with Jackie? Okay, so Jacqueline, because Jacqueline's Mia's friend, right?
Mm-hmm. But you know they beefed out right now.
Was me a friend,
So I can see that though, because Mia told her that she could marry her husband.
which is crazy to me.
But she
Did you
also
not?
said
Did
she
you not
also
see
said
that part? So that's my first reason why.
no,
The
and
other
then
reason
she's
why with Ashley is because Ashley is admitted to her having sex with other women with her man, with Michael. So it's not like a assumption that we know that this is happening.
well, didn't y'all hear Mia say that Jacqueline, but I like to call her Jackie, is almost it was she's like G's wife, but without the sex.
She
She's
said
like,
that. She
yeah, she
said
said
that.
that in the confessional to the producers that
Yeah.
Jacqueline is like G's wife, except without the sex. And when production asked her, so they've never
And
had
she
sex,
said
she's
that
like,
she can marry her after she dies.
and she said, like in the confessional, when she was talking to production, and production asked her, "Are you saying they didn't have sex?" And she says, "That's what I'm saying." Are you sure? She's like, "I don't know. I
Oh,
no."
I don't think that they have sex. I don't think they have sex. I don't. Because there's too much freedom in their relationship for that.
Whose relationship?
G and
She and
Mia's
Mia,
relationship.
yeah.
There's too much freedom for them to like sneak around and do stuff. Like if I think if that
Oh
was the
no,
case, like she would know that they did it and they would have that conversation.
I don't think they did
I don't
either.
think that they have sex.
I don't think they did either. But that was like the conversation she was having with production back and
Right.
forth after she mentioned that Jacqueline was like G's second wife,
I
just
don't think
without
Mia
sex.
would say, yo, we this is what we do. I don't think anything else.
When it comes to Ashley riding around trying to find her man in circles around that neighborhood, he was in Vegas. Like he told you he was going to be in Vegas. I agree with Noah. He put that story out, and I'm just going to take it a step further. I think he put the story out because he was going to Vegas and he was going to be doing whatever he was going to be doing. And he didn't need nobody saying, well, why are you doing this when you have a wife and kids at home? Put the story out. I'm separated. I could do whatever I want to do.
Okay, so let's move from Potomac to Married to Medicine.
Child, they might have.
Ooh.
They've been friends for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
They might have seasoned each other buffet,
Mm-hmm.
during the down times.
Me too. But I think it's something they agreed to do. Period.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a wrong thing in their relationship to do. That's what they're as good of friends as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to Married to Medicine. So the first topic that we went on was Roe versus Wade. How do you guys feel about that?
Say what now?
The first topic that they touched on was Roe versus Wade.
I felt like I agreed with what the lady said. Nobody should have the right to tell you what to do with your body, whether that's you know, getting a BBL or getting a Roe v. Wade, the A word. Nobody should
Mm-hmm.
has the right to say that. And I was glad they touched on, when Dr. Simone said there are some women, no matter how long she carries the baby, once the baby is outside of the uterus, that baby is not going to survive.
Mm,
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so when they tell you that, although it's up to the mother, right,
mhm.
to either continue the pregnancy and hope
Which
for a
is
miracle,
unfair.
What?
or
That
but
is
I'm
up
saying
to the
is
mother. It's unfair
um it, that how is that unfair that it's up to the mother?
because it should be up to the parents. Period.
Well, I mean, most women when they go, it's just them. But I mean, I get what you're saying. It
No,
Yes.
should be. What I'm saying
I
is,
know what
it.
you're saying.
But what I'm saying is, it should be up to the. Well, let me say, it should be up to those parents in that
Right,
situation
right.
to either hope for a miracle that their baby will survive, or decide to
Mm-hmm.
terminate. You know what I'm saying? The pregnancy. Um, but I think it is heartless when a woman goes to the doctor and the doctor tell her, "Listen, your baby has no chance of survival once it's delivered."
Right.
And you still have to make that woman go through carrying the baby, feeling the kicking, getting emotional, hoping that something may change, praying in some instances or whatever they do, hoping that when their baby come out, their baby can have a fighting chance, only to have to grieve your baby. I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong if somebody's uncle, brother, cousin, whoever, or some random person on the street auras them, grape juices them. You know what I'm saying? And now you're forced to have to take care of a child that's a result of that trauma. Or hell, even if it's just I got drunk and was having fun one night, but I ain't ready for this responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I think with mothers and with the
So,
choice being taken
so
away, I think we're
what?
going to see a
So
lot of more child abuse cases.
let me ask you this: Is this from the mother side?
I'm saying period. I think because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the men don't want the kids. I've seen situations where the men don't want the kids, and they ask the woman to get a Roe v. Wade. I've seen situations where they both decided they weren't ready to be parents, and so
But
this is
there's
what they
also
do.
been a lot of times where the father wanted the kid and the mother didn't.
Well, here's the thing. So I remember there was a Reddit story about this situation.
And
The
I'm gonna be honest with you before you go into your store, so it's not insensitive to me that happens to me.
hmm So there
Where
was a
the mother
situation.
of my kid didn't want the kid, and I had to suffer that.
So
I think it's a decision before you start with the Reddit story.
mhm.
I think it's a decision that people should make together. Ultimately, at the end of the day, regardless of this
I think if you're
decision,
making a kid, and I'll just say this is my own personal opinion, with Nola or Randy, this is my own personal opinion. I think that as you're making a kid with somebody, like it should be a joint decision on whether or not you're gonna have the kid. Period, because you have no idea the trauma that it brings with the other parent. Period. I know that the kid may have to go through my body to have that, but to me, I think it does change the mother when they have the baby too. But if it doesn't, there's a father there who wants the actual kid. Like, to me, like, let's give the fair opportunity to the parents, both of them, not just one.
The story, because well, before the story, not me. I know when people say I had a friend, no,
Mhm.
um, and she's been very
You're
public.
not the friend. You're not the friend.
I'm not the friend. She's been
Mhm.
very public about this situation, and it's always allowed me to speak on it because I was right there with her as she was trying to make this decision. And we were in college when this happened, and it was our first year. She was, having a situation where she was hooking up with this guy from home, and it was leading into a relationship, and he kept telling her how he wanted to have a child with her, he wanted to be with her, and she got pregnant. And when she finally, like when she told him about it, it was, well, I don't want it, like I don't know what you're, you thought this was, but I don't want it.
Yeah.
And she had to, and I sat with her as she had to make the toughest decision. And I will always say this is the toughest decision anyone's ever going to make in their life. She sat there and had to make that decision on if she could if she could possibly raise this child, or like if she would go through with the pregnancy and actually raise the child, or if she wasn't going to go through with it. And ultimately she chose
Mhm.
not to go through with it because she wasn't going to have the support. She was going
Right.
to have to drop out of school, and she wasn't going to have the support from family or him. And I
Or at
told her,
least that's what she thought.
huh?
Or
No,
at least
this is what she,
that's what
no,
she
this is
thought.
what she, no, this is what she knew.
Okay.
This is what she knew. And I
Mhm.
told her, I'm here either way. I can't give you no money now, but I'm here for you with whatever you choose.
I
Now, when
think
it,
people change minds when they have a baby there that's in their presence.
but
When they
that's
say
the,
that they're not going to, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So I'm not disregarding that. I'm just saying that when people have an actual baby, it does change a lot of minds. And I think that what your friend did was the best option because don't jeopardize like, oh, they might like it at this time. So she made the best decision. That's all I'm saying.
and then with the Reddit story, there was a situation of this guy and this girl was hooking up, and she got pregnant and she didn't want the baby. And he convinced her to have the baby and said,
Mhm.
I want the baby. I'll take care of the baby. I will raise the baby.
And then he
And
killed
she
her.
went through with the pregnancy. She handed the child over to him, signed away all, because she never wanted to be a mother. She never
Did
ever
he
wanted
kill her?
kids. Huh? No. She never wanted to be a mother. She never wanted kids. And when she got pregnant, her logical thought was, I don't want, like, I'm going to go do, have the big A. And he convinced her to have the child because he would raise the child, he would take care of the child. So when said
Mhm.
child was born, she didn't hold the baby. She signed over her rights. That is now your child. I will pay child support. But I'm
Said it,
like,
dad.
she would pay child support to the dad, but
Hmm.
she wanted nothing to do with the child. That's not my child,
Hmm.
because she never ever wanted to have children.
Right.
And he was so upset because,
But that's her fault. That's her fault.
no, he was upset because it was
He
like
should
he
be.
thought,
Then when she had a
make,
baby, she's going to make her change her mind.
not even change her mind, it would make her want to be with him. And
Change
she
her
paid,
mind.
yeah, change her mind. It would make her want to be a family with him, be with him, raise a child with him. And it was like, am I the a-hole? And everybody was like, yes, you got, like, you thought that this was going to change. And she told him straight up what it was for the entire 9 months. She didn't want to be a mother. She didn't want to have kids in
Mhm.
the first place. And because
Mhm.
you said, I'm going to raise the child, I will take care of the child, you don't have to have any, like, interaction with the child. That's what she was operating off of. And she signed away her rights. She pays her child support. She's going on and living her life, and he's pissed about it. And it's just like, you can't be
That
pissed
still
about
doesn't
this.
change her life of being a mother, though. So
Huh?
whatever, what that doesn't change the fact that she's still a mother, and whatever that she does make, she's still a mother. Period. So he made the right decision. I don't care what nobody says. He made the right decision to keep the baby. And if he decided to be the main parent and she didn't want to be that, that's fine. But she's still a mother though.
No, he
And whatever
thought
she
his
want to
mind.
do, whatever she does after that, that's her own decision on how she has to deal with the fact that she gave up her damn kid
No, but
for that.
that's the thing about it. So Deb,
He
she
didn't really want the baby. He
no,
thought having the baby would make her
Oh, he
want to
didn't
stay
want
with
to either.
him.
Oh, he didn't want
he
to
thought having the baby with her would make her stay. She had already
either.
told him verbatim out her mouth, word for word, I never wanted to be a mother. I never wanted
So they're
kids.
both bad parents.
And she gave her rights away because she never planned on having a child whatsoever. And he thought he could change her. He said He thought throughout those 9 months he could change her mind and she would stay and they would be a family and they would raise the child together. And he was in for a rude awakening when she had that baby and didn't hold, like when she gave birth, she didn't hold the baby. She didn't, like, when when they put the baby on your chest, she said no. She didn't want to have no
Right.
interactions with the baby. She signed away her rights and she was paying her child support and she was living in a whole nother
But
state.
did
And
he? But did he though?
his whole mindset was she's going to, like, we're going to be a family. And that's
But
not the type.
did he hold the baby after she had the baby?
He did, but that was because he said he would raise the child, that would be his baby. He would take
Okay.
on full responsibility. And all she did was, pay her child support. And you run into different situations where, you have the situation with my friend, you have the situation with, like, the guy from Reddit. I've, like, watched situations where women, didn't know, like, they were having sex, thought it was protected, and then they turn up pregnant because, someone slipped the condom off, in the middle of it, and now you have a baby. And now some people, like, I'm not saying that's like everybody's situation, but there are so many different, like, there are so many
I
different
didn't
situations.
want to. I did not want to get to this conversation during this. Like we was about the
Yeah,
show.
but I agree. Like, I agree with what they said on the stage. Like, there's so many
We talk about
factors.
Roe versus Wade. I know
Yeah,
we got there, but
but I agree with what they said on the stage. There are so many things to factor into it.
the law is wrong.
Yeah, well, the overturning of the law is wrong, and they
Yeah,
had enough time to
that's what I'm saying. The new law they made is wrong.
and they had ample time to codify the law. They
Mm.
did, and they didn't, and now here we are having less rights than, as women, having less rights and having no control over our bodies. But we can move on from this because
Yeah, this got deep. I didn't want to go.
it's a heavy topic, and we can go on and on about it.
All right, so the next topic is Toya's house,
She move every season.
I feel like if
which
she
we
wanna
all
live,
know that. So I think the conversation was about her and Anila and Quad having this conversation about her moving. And was it like the best idea? We know she said she made $1 million. Audra told us differently. So at the end of the day, how do we feel about Toya's house?
I feel like if Toya wanna live a nomadic lifestyle, that's on her. If she wanna move every 3 to 6 months, every 5 to 7 business days, that's on her. I mean, I just don't understand. To me, they get obsessed about the most.
Stupid things.
Yeah, for lack of a better word, I don't care about her moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what she wanted to do, that's what she wanted to do. Am I over her moving? Yes, I am. Cause girl, like, I just don't understand how it was a dream, your dream home one year, then the next year it didn't have a tennis court, it didn't have this. Like, I was making all these changes and arrangements. You know what I'm saying? It's the argument. I don't care about her moving, but the argument of why she's moving and they sold the house outside of it was over market value doesn't make sense to me, because last year you was bragging to us about dropping off the kids and then going to the community tennis court.
Right.
Now it don't have the
Your
tennis courts, it
Patron.
don't have the pool
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. Only for you to move a few
Well, can we
doors
can we can
away.
we can we can we please back up for just a minute because I want to talk about the Roe versus Wade thing. You know, y'all are women that's on my channel. How do you guys feel about the Roe versus Wade situation?
I thought we already talked
We
about
just
this.
talked about that.
No, I just want to make sure like we have a staple of information for this before we go to the next part.
Oh, I
I feel
think.
like people
I'm
need
not
to.
telling y'all to say nothing about it. I'm just saying like no, let's put a stamp on
Oh,
it.
okay. Overall, um,
Yeah.
I think no, like, honestly, I don't think the government should be telling a woman what to do with her body
Hmm.
because it's more than just like on umbrella. Everybody thinks it's just like, having a big A, but it goes into what your doctor can and can't tell you.
Hmm.
And it goes into like how are you supposed to be treated in a hospital when it comes to um
Being
different
a
things that
woman.
are going on with your like different things that are going on with a woman's body. And some
Right.
like basically now you some doctors aren't allowed to tell their patients like what exactly certain things are. And
Right.
once again, I don't think the government should be able to tell women what to do with their bodies, because it's just like you don't. And for the women who are in government like high government positions, low government positions, who feel like Roe versus Wade being overturned was such a great thing, I'm gonna tell you this: when you don't get the right, you don't have the right. Nobody has the right to tell anybody what to do with their body, because
Right.
it's not your body. Deal with your
Right.
body. I'll deal with mine. But when it comes to the men in the government, because the women in the government, y'all gonna feel this. Y'all truly gonna feel this. And
Right.
I can't feel bad for you, for the ones who decided that yeah, this was something great to be overturned, because y'all gonna feel it. And if you don't feel it like for
Mm.
yourself, somebody is going karma. Karma has a
In
nasty
so
habit.
many ways. In so many ways.
Yeah, karma has a nasty way of bouncing off
Yeah.
of you and hitting people around you that you care about. But for the men in the government, y'all don't get pregnant. Y'all don't have to go through these situations. Y'all don't
Mhm.
have to worry about certain things going on in your body. So, with that being said, mind your business. Mind the business that pays you, and sit down somewhere. Because most of y'all is old as dirt and need to go to somebody retirement home.
All right. I agree with that. The candy shop, you got something to say about it?
The
She
candy shop,
gone.
she gone.
Oh, Nola.
I will say I don't think it's
Let's
right
see.
for the government to be able to regulate what goes on with a woman's body,
Hmm.
or anyone's body for that matter, but especially, a woman's body. Like, you
Hmm.
literally have one foot in the grave and one foot on earth going through um pregnancy and labor. And I think, it's some women who getting pregnant for them can be detrimental. Um
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get pregnant with a baby and your baby has a different blood type, and your body sees it. When your baby's RH negative or you're RH negative, it sees your baby, your body starts attacking your baby because your immune system is fighting it off. But I think
You went through that?
it's bigger than that. I think we are stepping into a very dangerous territory when the government can start controlling what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do, as far as our personal choices and decisions for our life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I'm done with it.
I will say this, like for me, it's like I just feel like all my women should have their own experiences and things that they want to do with their own bodies or whatever. And I've never been in a space where I felt differently. So if women that I know choose to do what they want with their bodies, like it's not my responsibility to even doing that because I know my friends and my family who are making these decisions. We've had like conversation about it. So to me, it's like I never thought that I should even think about having control over this. So as a man that works in like our justice system, was weird to me to have a conversation where are you make a decision for other women. To me, I think that women should be able to do whatever they want to do with their bodies, period.
Let me say this.
And I stand 10 toes down on that.
I know, and like I have an idea, or we should all have an idea of why it was overturned, but we can get into that conversation on another day.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it today.
Yeah,
I wanted
I
to
said yeah, another day for that
because
conversation.
it was a conversation on the show. I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about it just like briefly because I was like, well, I know how I feel. I think I know how my friends feel that's on a regular about it. But let's just say something so that people understand that we do
Mm-hmm.
have feelings about it. So the next one was did Heavenly's see paperwork from what they were talking about on the reunion today?
Paperwork for the house.
Yeah, so she was saying that she's seen paperwork on was it Toya's house?
Hmm.
She probably did.
I mean, I think even though she didn't have paperwork at the party, I think she probably did show Dr. Heavenly what she found as far as receipts. But I mean, at the end of the day, once again, if they paid it off because they was having money problems or whatever, then that's what they did. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Listen, if Toya want to live a nomadic lifestyle like Nola said, go ahead with your bad self. I think your kids shouldn't be bouncing from house to house, and they should be able to like have one specific place, especially if you don't like. I get it if you have to move often because that's like what's going on, but if it's not the case, I think they should be able to be set in one place and not move all the time. Did Heavenly see some paperwork? Probably. Was it at the party? No. And like
Heavenly
I
was very adamant about her seeing something.
yeah, and I'm just gonna say this: when it comes to the tax liens or liens on property in the state of Georgia, you won't see them on public record until they're resolved.
Hmm. All right, so real quick before we get into our next question, this is our probably like our last day to send super chats or cash apps to support the channel. So if you guys can, please go ahead and do that. So our next question is, do you guys think that Eugene and Toya will be in a divorce next season?
No,
No,
You don't think so?
no.
no. Eugene loved that lady. He loved what she do to him. He loved everything about her, and she loved her lifestyle. They're not gonna get no divorce. They're gonna be together.
But she's not putting out that she's in love with that though. Like she's putting out a lot of information where it feels like she's not in love with him because his dick is not big enough, the sex is not good. They said they haven't sex in like 6 months. Like their sex life is not working.
Then go and get y'all a good sex therapist and get off our television screens with this mess. That could be their storyline next season. Going to a sex therapist to help them work out whatever issues they got going on. There are ways to make stuff work, Miss Toya. I don't think they're gonna get a divorce. I think that man love her, and I think she's found a perfect life for herself.
Okay.
And once you are set in your perfect life for yourself, there are ways to get around your issues. Just saying.
But I'm asking, since you know that they're having these issues right now, thinking about this, like, does this sound like trouble in this relationship?
It sounds like they have issues, but I don't think
Mm-mm.
next season we'll get a divorce.
No.
Okay. All right, so the next question is Anila or Quad. Who's wrong for the rumors about Toya? What comes between Anila and Quad?
Quad.
Simone. Oh, sorry.
Simone. Okay, wait.
It's just between Quad and Anila because I was gonna say
Mhm.
Simone since she the one who constantly been spreading the word around.
I don't think it's Quad.
I do think that it's quad.
Okay,
If we
tell me why.
Here's why I think that it's quad. If you are mad about a rumor being perpetuated about you for sleeping with a married man, why would you perpetuate a rumor about somebody else sleeping out? Um,
mm-hmm.
so that's why I think that because you're in that same position and you know how I feel for it to be said upon your character, why would you speak it upon somebody else's character? Now, as far as who got it started, I absolutely believe Anila and them ladies was down to the tennis court, the clubhouse, or wherever,
Mhm.
gossiping, saying that lady was sleeping around.
Um okay, agreeing with Nola. But I'm still going with Simone gonna have to atone for her being a busybody and spreading rumors around.
So yeah, I
And
definitely think Simone don't get held accountable for a lot of the stuff that she started.
because she talk, she be like she starts stuff. She throws rocks and hides her
Well,
hand, and then
they vindicate Simone too, though.
but they said they had the wrong person.
Right, but they also vindicate Simone, saying that she's not the person who said that. So Simone get vindicated because the rumor never started from her.
No, listen. I mean, I think Simone don't get held accountable for a lot of stuff. Simone is
Mm-hmm.
the one who brought the story about Quad sleeping with the married man.
Mm-hmm.
To the
Well,
store,
listen,
but nobody
my
calls her on it.
my
She
big
never
sis
gets the
speaks.
smoke.
My basis speaks as, do you think it was true that either of them was sleeping around?
First of
No,
all,
I don't.
wait, who was sleeping around? Toya and Quad?
Quad and Toya.
When it comes, well, no, but my reasoning for Quad
I think
is
they were.
she's Quad is a single woman. She's not married to nobody. She doesn't have to atone to
Right.
anybody.
Right.
She doesn't have to be held accountable by anybody. And that's the issues with her. She's single and she could do whatever she want to do. And they feel like in this group, that's not what should happen. When it comes to
Right.
Toya, I don't think so because I'm going to go back to she loved her life. Her life is perfect the way
Why
it
does
is.
everybody know that Toya's sleeping around though? Like to me, like there's some truth in that.
But the reason why it feels like there's like for some people, the reason why it could be truth to that is because of the way she talked about her husband and like, oh, it's not big enough, and we're not doing this, and we're not doing that.
Was
That
that
would be.
a reason?
I don't think. Listen, if you gonna cheat, I would never understand cheating. That's just me. But if you feel like you're not getting something at home, or if you're not getting what you need,
I don't
like
feel like Jackie and Simone lie. And I'll just say that.
I'm,
I
but
don't feel like that they lie, and I feel like the fact that she's been very adamant about Toya cheating. Toya's probably been cheating. Toya's not happy with her husband. His dick is too small. Like financially, like they've been having so many financial issues. Toya's not happy.
the financial issues come for her trying to keep up with Joneses and everybody else.
But do you think that he blames him or her for that?
I don't know. I can't
I
say
think
who.
she blames him for that,
Well,
not her.
I couldn't say who blames who for whatever. I'm gonna just say this because look, when they had the sex therapist come up there, and the lady said there's ethical non-monogamy, and then there's unethical non-monogamy. If if Toya, and I'm gonna say big if she was to be with someone outside of her marriage, the question now has to be: is it an ethical situation where everybody knows who is who? And they're okay with it, or is it an unethical situation that is being perpetuated on the show?
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. I don't believe either one of those ladies well, for Quad, it wouldn't be cheating. I don't
Mm-mm.
believe she's sleeping with a married man. I don't believe that.
I don't
I
believe
think
that
to
either.
look at I think to look at her house and say, "Oh, how could she get this without this?"
It's wrong.
To insinuate that she's laying on her back to get the things that she have. I think it is very insulting. For
It's
Yes.
Toya,
very
I
wrong.
don't think that she's cheating on Eugene. If it came out, I would honestly be shocked if it was proven to be true.
Yeah.
What I think is Toya is a woman who is having issues in her marriage. Do I think some of the things that she's complaining about can be perceived as a little bit selfish, like when your husband is like you being upset with your husband and saying he's not giving you time and you want him to come home and do these things with you and the boys, and that was part of the reason why you felt alone in your marriage when it was a literal fucking pandemic and he had no choice but to be at work all of those hours. And to me, you're not considering the trauma that had to be for, like, all doctors at some point in time in their career, they're going to see death. But to see as much death as he was seeing, working 15, 16, 20 damn hours sometime those people were going to sleep in the cots that the rooms doctors have for them, and then 2 or 3 hours and they're right back at work, not even getting to go home. While I understand she had the stress of the pandemic too and running her household, I think it's not right to portray it as if he's just working all the time and leaving you. Like, you started feeling this in the middle of a pandemic. Like, that, and he's an ER or a doctor. Where was everybody going at first to even be admitted to the hospital? The ER. I think that's unrealistic, but I don't think she's a cheater. I
Mm-mm.
think um I think realistically she's just a wife who have issues in her marriage. Her husband works a lot. I think he works a lot because they spend a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
he trying to keep them afloat. And I think um they have to come to a point where they're gonna make some compromises. But like he said, he left the ER. That man was burnt out. That man was miserable. So I think, that's gonna make some changes in their marriage. I saw a picture not that long ago. Looked like he had slimmed down a little bit and they were on vacation. So I don't think, but I just think whether she gapping her legs for somebody else or not, which I do not believe that she is, I just think it's wrong for anybody to put that information out outside of her and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's despicable.
Also, when it comes to Quad's house, for anybody, and I mean the women on the show, and maybe anybody questioning how she got that house, know this: Quad makes money off of social media. Like, that's first and foremost. She has her cookbook, and then on the show, and I've done the math. Like, I'm not sure if she's still making $75,000 an episode, but $75,000 an episode for however many they
Yes,
get,
making more now.
she has to be making more than now. But what the figure I got, if she's making $100,000 an episode, and they have what, I want to say maybe like 15 episodes. And then, I think they get bonus pay when it comes to reunions. She's making over $1 million before taxes. Anybody making $100,000 an episode before taxes, they automatically clear $1 million. So
Mhm.
don't question how she got her house. She has the money. She has good credit from what she says. I don't know that lady credit
Right.
like that. So she's able to get her stuff done. Just don't say, well, in order for you to get a house like that, you have to lay on your back. Also, remember, before her nephew came to live with her, Quad didn't have no kids. She was only had to take care of herself. She didn't have nobody else to take care of. She had to take care of herself and herself alone. She
Mhm.
has her nephew now, so now she has to also think about him and his future and what that's going to look like when it comes to school and after school programs and everything else. But ultimately, she was living like a single woman for years after her marriage, so she got a pretty penny saved up, and she was able to get that house and anything else she wants.
And
Right.
from
Don't.
my understanding, when she was married to Dr. G was the one who was paying all the bills. And she was, you know what I'm saying, a lady
Mm-hmm.
Alicia. Now, I wasn't in their household. I don't know who was paying all the bills, but Quad very much strikes me as the type of woman who was in the joints accounts and moving a little, taking a little bit at a time out of the joint accounts, and putting it
Mm-hmm.
into her very much personal accounts. You know what I'm saying?
There's
For that
nothing wrong
rainy
with
day.
that.
I'm not saying nothing is
No.
wrong with it. What I'm
No, no,
saying is,
I know you're not, but I'm just
yeah,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or,
like
we
saying
don't
that,
know if this
there's
woman,
nothing wrong with that.
and I wouldn't, we don't know if this woman had investments. She did
Right.
have that puppet couture line. Now, just because we don't hear about it no more on the show, don't mean it isn't going
Well,
on. Don't
it's
mean
not
that she,
it's not a thing anymore though.
oh, well, I don't know. I'm just saying,
No, I'm just telling you that it's not a thing
we
anymore.
don't know what she could have done. She could have investments somewhere,
I think
that we don't know
I
about.
think our sister circle thing created another avenue for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing about it is too,
But that puppy couture thing was not it.
but I mean, well, she got her cookbook sales. We don't know what that's doing.
Oh
And
yeah,
whether you like her,
that.
or not, Quad does have a fan base of people
Mm-hmm.
I love Quad. I love Quad.
of people who like her. And so I think, to me, it's just insulting. And at the end of the day, if she bought a $4 million house, she has a mortgage. They didn't say the house was paid for. She has a mortgage. And so
Mm,
all you have to do is prove to the mortgage that you're able to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And you have a monthly note on it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how much she put down on the house or whatever. And then lastly, I'm sorry. If she was, I just feel like Quad is the type of woman, if she was gonna screw for something, she screwed for towards that $4 million for that house and not the 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She'd be laying on her back to knock the mortgage down, not to make some upgrades. Just my opinion. But I
You
don't. I
said
think
the right stuff. You said the right
I
stuff.
Yeah, I gotta agree. If she was going,
Like everything you said is right, but I think that we're just trying to get the facts before that. Like everything else you said was right.
and I have a question. Did she get, like, when her and Dr. G divorced, did she get alimony? Did she get a settlement? Or
I don't think we
no.
know that
so then you also, like, if we don't know that, we also don't know
because
what.
I don't know. Like we've never heard her talking about
I
the
don't think her
settlement
and
between them.
Dr. G discuss whatever they got.
I don't
And
think that they had a prenup or like a settlement. She's never talked about that.
So who
and I don't
knows?
think she will.
Yeah, and it's like she
I don't
will.
think that they have one.
And that's the thing, we don't know, and she probably will never talk about it. So we also don't know what that like
Yeah.
did for her after like they divorced.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all keep questioning what people doing with their coochies and how they paying for stuff, and watch it come back on you, and you be like, now how you pay for this? Y'all got to leave folks alone, okay?
I don't think that they have us. I don't think they have one.
Huh?
I think we need to hurry this up because you sound like you going to sleep.
Yeah.
No, I'm really thinking about this. Like I don't think that they have a settlement agreement when it comes down to what was it, a prenup?
Did they
Hmm.
have a prenup?
Because she's never said like, oh, I'm going to get this. Like most of the time you hear them be saying like, oh, it's cool because I'm gonna get this, but she's never said that.
But I mean, if her and
Oh,
Dr.
they did.
G had an arrangement where they wouldn't speak on it, then you wouldn't hear it.
They did reach a settlement.
Do you know what it was?
Um,
And I'm not disagreeing what you said, but I think that she wouldn't say that because she doesn't know what it is. I think that I don't know. I think that she doesn't know what she's going to get.
it doesn't say what she got. It was she had to send in a lot of information from the article I'm reading to the
Mm-hmm.
judge to get him to turn over documents.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said once the divorce was finalized, she posted a video of her in Cuba.
But it's not finalized yet, right?
No, it's finalized. This was back in 2018.
Okay.
That once the divorce was finalized, she was in Cuba smoking on a Cuban cigarette.
So she did get money from the divorce.
Yeah, she got a settlement. Just don't know what the settlement was, and I don't think
Okay.
she ever gonna say what it was.
So that's why she could afford the $200 million house or whatever it's $1 million house. I didn't think that Quad left that marriage with nothing. I never
Yeah,
thought. I never thought that.
especially after reading the article, she had to
Yeah,
get the judge to compel him to turn stuff over. And I think sometimes when you have to do that, that means somebody trying to hide something.
I agree with you.
What's the next thing?
The next thing is that we get out of here. So
Hmm.
I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. Um,
Yeah, because you're going to sleep and we
Yeah,
ain't
you
even
gonna.
got to the
I'm
Contessa
about to go
fight and
to
all of that
go to
stuff.
sleep.
You just to
Yeah,
be a to be continued.
yeah, it's gonna have to be a two. Could be.
Oh, we won't continue this. This was a good night, and we're going to sleep tonight.
we,
I thank you
we
guys
didn't
for
even
joining me.
we didn't even get to Contessa and her barrette.
Oh, let's talk about this for a minute, please, please, please. Because that Brett pisses me off every time I see it.
I'm confused about the barrette. Did she have a hole in her hair?
Yes,
Because like if you look at like there's no hair in the middle of the beret.
Yeah, I was that confused my soul.
she did.
I
So
don't understand that.
the bottom, like the bottom piece, like the hair that was attached to the bottom of the barrette,
Mm-hmm.
and the hair that was attached at the top of the barrette was
Mm-hmm.
what was holding that thing together. But there was a hole there. It makes no
That
sense.
was confusing.
I don't understand still.
But what happened with the fights before we leave up out of here?
You want
She's
to tell
still
me?
on.
Contessa was full of shit.
She's
She's
still
full
on
of shit.
that. She's still on that. Heavenly was trying to ruin her life.
Let me just say this. With my glasses off, I said this. I don't agree with Contessa because Contessa sat in her marriage with that man when she left him for school. She sat there and she let Heavily talk shit about him. And at some point, like she should have said something. So her anger should not have been with Heavily. It should have been with herself.
Well, she sat up there and told the whole world they was going through problems, and it was.
We all knew that, but she's blaming her personal. situation on Heavenly.
Y'all
Heavenly's
know,
not the problem.
y'all know
It's
what it
you.
is. You
It's
fight.
you.
Listen, y'all know exactly what the situation is. You
It's
and your
Contessa. It's Contessa.
No, you and your mate. We've all seen this happen. You and your mate are into it. You tell your friends, and your
Contessa
friends.
should never talk shit about Heavenly when it comes down to her marriage because she's told us all of these things.
Mm-hmm. And then
I can never be mad at Heavenly because I'm like, well, she said all the things that said so. I don't get it. I don't get it.
it's a situation. As soon as you and your partner get back cool, and your
Mhm.
friends are still upset about the situation, now it's a check your friend because your friend should know nothing about what we had going on over here, and now they checking you about your friend, and then you get upset. That's what it is. And I'm sick of her claiming Kansas City. We don't claim you.
Right.
Nola, what you think? Other than the fact that she full of it.
I think Contessa, well, that is ultimately what I think. And here's why I think that. I think
Liar.
that because she was on Heavenly's show after that was happened. She sat up here and lied, talk about, oh, she never drags those ladies like that. She lied. She was on
Mm-hmm.
Heavenly's show dragging the dog
Talk about
piss
it.
out of Toya. Okay. Now her and Toya back cool. So I think she lied. Even Andy had to say, well, no, you sat up here for years. She had no problem using these ladies, including Quad, to announce to the world that she had filed for divorce against her
Talk
husband. This
about
is
it.
clearly a case of she was very cool with
Mm-hmm.
what Dr. Heavenly say, and I don't want to hear this talk about, oh, well, he's a doctor. He's a doctor. He knew he was a doctor when he told your daughter he was on the phone with his girlfriend. He knew he was a doctor every time he tried to pit your children against you, up into including this season when y'all pulled up and the trainer was there acting like he didn't know who that trainer was, sparking something in them children, talking about who is that man with my mama.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Did they have more parts of this reunion, or was this the last
One
one?
more part. So I think she's full of shit.
But
I think
they
Scott,
got one. They got one more part.
they
And I
have one
hope,
more part. I
and I
think.
hope they talk about her
It
bringing that
says
child down there.
it says it's a 3-part series.
And
Yeah,
I,
I think Scott got in Contessa's face about because he knew what Heavenly was saying, which
Was right. Was right. Was right.
all Heavenly did was answer the question. Now, do I feel like Heavenly could have said, "Listen, that's my friend. I'm not gonna,
No.
answer that question." Yeah, you can make the argument that yes, she should have
Heavenly
said
did
that,
the right thing.
but
She
she
did the right
really
thing.
didn't. She really didn't say anything that we didn't
Nothing.
that we didn't already suspect, and
mm-hmm,
she never said conversation that her
Right.
and Contessa had. She was
Right.
asked, "Do you think she's in an abusive relationship?" And
Right.
Heavenly gave her opinion mentally
Right.
and emotionally. And
mm-hmm,
mentally and
And there's nothing
emotionally,
wrong
we
with what she
all
said.
saw he abused her.
There was nothing wrong with what she said.
And you went on her show after that. So I definitely understand why
She feels that way.
you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
definitely understand why Heavenly said what she said.
Well, this is
And
it
that's
for
it.
my
That's all
review
I
for
got.
the night, y'all. So yeah, anything else you want to say?
Nope. I'm just
no,
let you go to bed because you about to go to bed
I
right now
love
anyway.
y'all so much for joining me tonight. I'm tired as fuck.
child, you about to pass out. So good night. Get you
I'm
some
about to
rest.
be like sleep. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I am about to be sleep, but I definitely enjoy you guys for enjoying me for tonight. I don't know if I'm saying real words right now, but I'm saying
You are
something.
not. Just
You're
go ahead
not.
and close the stream, yo.
What I'm trying to say is that I thank you guys for joining me tonight.
You not saying that three
Listen,
times.
make
Go to
sure I said
bed.
it right.
Go to bed.
I thank you guys for joining me tonight. This
Oh
was dope.
Jesus.
I said
Good
it
night.
right, right? Did I say it
Yes,
right?
3 times you said it right. Go to bed.
Night night.
Wait, I'm trying to do it the right way.
You did it the right way. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Like
Go to
twice,
bed.
right?
You did it the right way 3
Yes.
times already.
3
Go to
times.
3 times,
bed.
all right. So as long as I did it right 3 times, I'm good. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Let's try it again another day. Y'all, I am feeling lit. I'm great. I love you guys for joining me tonight.
Good, good night. I'm about to
Night.
Why,
clock
why,
out
why?
here so you could
I'm
go to
about to
bed.
call you because why are you laughing?
Because you didn't said it a
Because
fourth
you should see
time.
you done said it a 4
I
times.
mean,
Good night.
I'm trying to end the line the right way. Y'all laughing, so
Good night.
Night.
Good night. Go to bed, sir.
Yes.
Where's my
Now.
Why am I lying? Because I'm about to call you in a minute. I'm not calling you right now.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
be waiting.
Oh, I didn't do this. And the broadcast ended.
Yes,
Here we
now.
go.